I'm starting off fresh and I feel good. I look good. I smells good. I am good.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Thank God it's Friday.
Happy Friday, my friend.
Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are awake. We are awake. We are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset,
We are striving for more.
start taking
Ironrealmmedia
today.
Not to worry. I have a permit.
This just says I can do what I want.
Damn Skippy. Because we just do what we want. TGIF. Welcome to Have No Sphere right here on the ironrealmmedia YouTube channel. By golly, it's Friday. It's Friday. I'm done working for the Japanese. And I got the weekend off, so that'll be nice. No overtime this week. Hip, hip, hurrah. So, there I was coming home today, trying to remember exactly what I had to do to get set up for this show. And I thought, oh, that's right. We do have a guest. We do have something going on. Paul's coming back on. So I run in and I'm building up a show title and a thumbnail. Oh, sweet. We'll just Plain Reality Part 2. Paul's come back on, get it all set up, getting everything set up. Last thing I do, I open up Skype and there's the chat. Hey, can I pop on for 10 or 15 minutes? Oh, this isn't exactly Plain Reality Part 2 now, is it? This is Paul popping on for 10 or 15 minutes, going to come visit, say hi. So that's cool. It's not exactly going to be Plain Reality Part 2 unless he gets caught up, which has been known to happen here on the realm. And we had a Crow 777 come on for 45 minutes, and then 5 hours later, he decides maybe it's time to stop. So sometimes that's just how we roll. Let's jump right in and say hello to everybody. We're going to jump right off because the only person I know for sure that's really there is Mrs. Cami Knodel. You might recognize her from her channel, Aisling717 here on YouTube's Cami. How's your week been, dear? How are you doing?
Hey, it has been a good long week, doing a little bit better than yesterday. I'm getting my voice back in that after 3 hours in the dentist chair yesterday. And I'm still a little mush-mouthed today, but we're getting better. That's always fun. It's just part of getting old. Take care of your mouth and your teeth. That's where all your money winds up. So, but hopefully it's a good smile and go on from there. Enjoying it. This is our last couple of nights of being closer in time with those in Europe. So Liz, even though it's a little bit later for her tonight, she is enjoying she's enjoying the night shows here. It's earlier for her tonight, but she's having a hard time with getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning to watch early shows. So I think because this is just, one evening a night and that's 3 mornings, she's pretty happy that we're going to be going further away in time, but I kind of enjoy being a little bit closer.
Yeah,
So
now,
other than that, let's see.
are we going into standard time or are we going into daylight savings time?
We're going into standard time. We are in daylight savings now, and we will be going back to more natural time, where natural time is determined based on the noon being when the sun is at your meridian, and midnight being when your full moon is at meridian. So we are going back to regular standard time.
So we fall back
And
into
this-
reality.
We fall back to reality.
Spring
To
forward
reality,
to a
yes.
more man-made construct of time, and then we fall back into reality. That's how that works. So what we need to do is get rid of the more man-made construct of time and just do away with it all and just live 365 here based in reality time. My opinion.
It's going to be more and more like that. I know this has been an interesting year. It's now November, officially November. And I went out today and picked delicious blackberries and tomatoes still coming from my garden. So I've never had the garden still producing this late. I've got about 12 more berries to come and about 6 or 7 more tomatoes. And I think we're going to be done. But I think that's remarkable.
It is remarkable, but y'all live in the South.
Certainly doesn't happen in Colorado.
No, I don't know that we have any more veggies still producing here in Missouri either.
Right. We started planting in February. And so this has been this has been a good production this year, really high production year on the berries and the tomatoes especially.
That's always good.
And Liz, I'm sorry you weren't here. The blackberries are really delicious right now because the nights are cooler. They are sweet. They are the sweetest they've been all year.
Well, there's somebody else there hanging out with you, not too terribly far, like just probably a matter of feet, if I were to guess. One Mr. Zachary Zabala. He's got a channel on YouTube called Good Times for All. I'm going to ask very politely, with a big smile on my face, how was your day, Zach?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, I just never tried to get back to sleep a couple times today. Just never made it. I don't know. Just been like groggy all day and kind of out of it. It's been one of those.
Have you tried having a Snickers?
No, actually, I haven't.
I think a Snickers and an 8-ball of Coke should perk you right up. I'm just
Take care of
kidding.
my issues.
Nobody wants that high fructose.
Neither at the
corn
house.
syrup. That's good. You shouldn't have high fructose corn syrup in the house.
You heard about
It'll kill you.
the pink cocaine going around? I think it was in Texas. I saw an article this morning, but we never got to it.
No, but that makes sense. She was a bit bigger when she started her musical career.
Yeah, there's like hot pink cocaine out there now.
That is totally law enforcement. If that's not a DEA thing, I don't know what is. Here's some fucking Dayglow booger sugar. Have fun. Good luck not pointing out to everybody which one's doing the hot pink cocaine. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
no dot on the nose. Did they show you the color? Is it like Pepto-Bismol pink or is it
Yeah.
like pastel pink or
It's
is
like
it?
Pepto-Bismol pink. I'll see if I can find it. Yeah.
That's nasty. That is nasty. That's like worse than like the purple and the different things they have, like when they do the molds and things around and you have to pick the. Yeah, that was my day yesterday.
Yeah, down in Texas. It's in Travis and Harris counties, it's saying. Let me see here. Here you go.
Oh, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed. Somebody busts out a line. Here, you want something? Like, no, I don't want any. Why do you want some?
Yeah, actually, by the way, yesterday when I was bringing it up, they got me at the dentist's office. Oh my God, that is Pepto-Bismol. We had somebody, I forgot it was Halloween, and the first tech that came in with her mask covering most of her face, because it's a doctor's office, you get it, the dentist, and she had a scar peeking out from underneath it, reaching up over her forehead, and I'm asking her, oh my God, what happened? And it was a Halloween costume. I'm like, oh, pretty blonde. Go and talk about the pink cocaine.
So they're saying it's just dyed pink.
Now, if you were to put that in like a plastic clamshell container, like just pack it in there real tight, you put a mirror on the other side of the clamshell container, and you just carry that shit in your pocket. That's my makeup.
Yeah.
It's just makeup.
That's my makeup. Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go powder my nose.
They're saying drug traffickers dye it pink to make it look like it is a new drug. Really?
Who's selling it? Mimes? What the fuck?
Do they have a new name for it?
Right. Still trying to buy Coke. What the fuck? Sorry, I don't have any Coke, but I got this.
It feels just like Coke.
Right. It'll make your face numb. Well, probably not. Who knows what the fuck else it's cut with? If they're dyeing the shit pink, who knows how many times they've used some sort of fucking...
Okay, but it's usually a mixture now, I'm reading. Instead of just one illicit substance, it'll contain meth, ketamine, fentanyl.
Yeah, that's
like a bunch
the
of
story I
stuff.
read yesterday was that it was like, that's a telltale, like run from it sign now.
That's a Jeffrey right there.
That might be a Jeffrey.
That's truly disgusting. I mean, that is
Right,
truly
Nate.
disgusting.
Nate's all over this. Breaking Bad, I already had this covered. But wasn't his blue? I thought his was blue.
My baby.
Yeah, I would be real pissed if I ordered cocaine and died of a fentanyl overdose because it was pink.
Nate said, even drugs are woke.
It's the Susan G. Komen cocaine. The fight for breast cancer. But yep, there was Mr. Walter Johnson. You might recognize him from his channel, Flat Earth Head, or here on the stuffs that we do on Iron Realm Media. Walter, how was your Friday? Did you get a nap in at least?
I sort of did. Actually, I fell on my face about 7:40 this morning. So, yeah. So I am napped up and ready, and I have Miss Cleo here who's helping me with the keyboard. And so, yeah, it's going to be that kind of day, huh, sweetie? But I am here, and it's Friday, and we're here, and I see a lot of awesome people in chat. So, hi, awesome people in chat. Trying to play catch up. Excited to talk to Paul again for 10 minutes. You mean you think we'll show up at this point?
What is behind you, Walter?
Oh, a picture of
Wong,
the album. Yeah,
Dirty.
I put the wrong one up. That's what it is. That's Corey Wong and Dirty Loops album that I had.
Okay.
Yeah,
I saw Dirty,
sorry.
and then I saw OPS.
Yeah,
Did you put the wrong one up or the wrong one up?
I put the wrong one up.
You put the wrong one up, yeah.
It's too big. That's what I meant. I had one that was smaller. You could actually read it, but this was not the one. Anyway, yeah. I've been down that rabbit hole this week a lot because Corey Wong's on tour and wanting to go see them. They're not coming anywhere near me. So, but yeah, I've been digging it. A lot of funk. If you're not into it, then prepare to have a stank face because, man, they're funky. But yeah, Good Friday here. Trying to get through this eyeball thing. Still waiting for my actual medication to arrive. Turns out it's a specialty medication that they only had in New Orleans, so they had to send out for it and ship it to me now instead of me going pick it up here locally. So
damn, you're special.
Apparently my eye bugs are special. Hi, I'm Anson My Eyes Johnson.
I always said you were special, though everything is special, Walt.
You might recognize me from the front seat of the small bus.
Yeah.
Would
Without
you
a
say
doubt.
he's your special guy?
One of many. Just looking to show you all are special. Always special to me.
Very special.
There's a rumor that Ben Balderson started the pink thing.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
terrible.
there you go.
Not at all.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Ben Balderson out there doing his debate thing. and the deliberating dog-faced dudes. Head on over there and subscribe. Tell them I sent you.
Deliberating dog-faced dudes. Triple D.
Triple D. D cubed.
Girl, look at you.
So, hey, let's do some on-air, what do we call it?
Production?
Production.
Yeah, I was about to hit DJ up myself, so you go ahead.
Well, no, Billy Ray Valentine. Is there a chance that you could get him in touch with somebody? Somebody was interested about Free World FM.
I'm
that
sure.
we know and love.
Absolutely.
Oh, surely.
And that's so funny. I was going to say that just as you said, Josh, it's time to get going, and I did not want to put the show on hold. I was going to do after, but yeah, no, it's very exciting.
Awesome. We'll have to set that up then.
I have no idea what sort of listenership they have over there on freeworld.fm.
But with more
There's
people,
quite
will
a
it make it
few
better?
people over there, though. I was looking today. They've got a lineup. How many of those people are alive, though, that are actually doing the
listen, right. I would love to know if we could match up what goes out on the air as a live program versus what the lineup of live shows are. That's how out of touch I am. And really, that's sort of the way it was with TFR as well. Like, I hit live and I go. And once I get my groove, once I find my system down, I just do it. Like, didn't talk to Chris Geo for like 18 months before TFR went titties up. Just never needed to. Shit works, then shit works. And if it doesn't work, fuck it, I don't need you anyway. I can still go live on YouTube. So fuck it. And that's just kind of the way it was. And that's sort of the way it's been on freeworld.fm. I don't know if I know we're still going out live, but I don't know who all still is. But it's a good time. I can absolutely reach out. I know he responds to me. I reached out before Flattoberfest to see if we could get him to come down for Flattoberfest. Thankfully, he did not. But
did your Skype just glitch out,
Yes.
Walter? I saw your face. Did you saw that, Cami?
No, but when it happened, Josh, I'm not looking at the monitor. I'm just listening here, and right when it happened, you said it glitched. Josh went from my left AirPod to my right, and then it glitched back and went the other, and it was just a complete. It was crazy.
I saw something go weird, but like if somebody
All the
shuts off,
screens went black on mine.
that's what I saw too. Like everybody cut their cameras off at the same time, which was a bit strange. Because
sometimes the handlers like forget, if they push that button over there, it kills it all. And oh shit! So,
Well, according to my son, you have right now going on. Fortnite is doing a live event, and there are over 8 million people playing right now.
It's gonna
yeah, I
break the
saw a
internet.
video of a person I watched to learn some stuff about Fortnite, and I saw he was live with it and wondered what I was missing. So.
Yeah, but they are missing you. It's not, again, he put a note into the chat that it starts in 2 hours, but he did it 2 hours ago. I was like, but Jerry, you put it in our chat, and that's when the show starts. So he's like, well, maybe they want to play on the show. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe not, but the big event. But he does say that whenever they have these events, that the internet and things will start going wonky because they exceed their servers and start taking over all of Amazon servers. That he gave me a
Makes
fun
sense,
definition of how they
yes.
work. That you can buy server space on Amazon even by the hour as needed. And there's some type of alliance with it, so it starts taking over all the different servers, and having that many people doing that intensive graphics and that online at the same time tends to take out different parts and glitches. The whole internet, as he says, like why it's happening, it'll like reach out to different pieces. So I think that could be some of the things, or not. I could be what he was talking about. What the glitches could be totally different glitches, because I usually do get it wrong. Not gonna lie. With the tech, I'll like put it together. I was like, no, not at all. But I do know that's going on, and that is a lot of people to have online gaming at one time. That's kind of crazy to think about.
Doesn't look like we're missing much. It was a Snoop Dogg concert.
Is that what they did on Fortnite? Was it concert?
Yeah, I'm watching a thing from I don't know how many minutes ago. This is half hour ago when it started. It looks like, and yeah, they're sitting in an arena. And it's not like there's even other people around you. It's a bunch of bots standing around you.
Oh, so they're just
And
logged
Snoop
in
Dogg is
okay.
up on a giant screen. It's not even like on a stage where he's actually there. It's showing like a video of, yeah, we didn't miss anything. At least it doesn't look like it. No, he can stand there and do emotes. That's it, it looks like.
Aha, okay. So it's not your gaming ability at all. It's just again a gathering place and a break the internet type of.
Oh, and they had an Eminem's in the game now. Yeah. They got an Eminem thing. So he's probably going to do a concert thing or something like that. Yep, that was it. Nothing big. We didn't miss anything. Excellent.
I never feel like I'm missing anything not watching like the games. So it's more concern for y'all.
So hurry, guys.
Oh wait, I was just saw that pop up on my end too.
Yeah,
I guess that was a hey because the R and the E
yeah.
are pretty close together. Yeah, you can hop in whenever you're ready, friend.
Absolutely. No, I played Fortnite for the first time. I think it was last weekend. Me and Jaren played couple rounds, and that was like it. With
yeah, I'm kind of over the
Liz's
marble thing already.
grandson.
I played it like twice. Yeah.
Yeah, we played, and I was like, eh.
But that's kind of how it's been, though, for me since I started playing it with you there. It's kind of a this season, not so much. I don't play until next season and something different's happening. And like, oh, yeah, I like this. I like the cars or I like the whatever. But yeah, it's not a consistently, oh my God, I got to play this game at all. It's always, let me see what they're doing and whether I'll do it or not. And this last part, it's not been for me, for sure.
I noticed on your messages in the chat, Walt, that you wrote that like we should have gone and played Jack's map. The one thing I did ask Jaron about, like the 2 hours before the show, when he was suggesting you guys play in there, I go, well, can you go into any game? Maybe you can all like get people joining in on the Flat Earth map. And he was like, no, the events don't work like that. Wherever they put you, everybody is one place together for whatever the event is, and you don't know what it is, but you don't get to go to anywhere or do that. It's the event is it's a secret event, but it's wherever they put you and everybody joins in and none of the maps or anything is available while the event's going on.
Yeah, it's like a level that you could play only for like this period of time. You have to be queued into the game. Sometimes you have to wait like 30 minutes for your game to start. But it'll be like that one time it was a bunch of people. I think they had like 100 people in the map. And you just ran around and pretty much did nothing. It was stupid. Then there's other ones where it's 4 of you and you're like blowing stuff up and fighting. So it changes every season to something new. But it's, once it's done, that's it. You can't go back and play it ever again. It's like, this is the time you can join in and play this. It's a new season starting thing that we do. And once it's done, that's it. You never get to go back and like, oh, I missed it, so I'll just play it tomorrow. No, there is none of that. That's why there's 8 million people on right now. Usually it's about 750,000 to maybe 1 million people on the whole game at any given time.
I don't know.
Maybe like 500,000 to 1 million. It's usually not much more than that or much less than that. I always know there's always like usually 200-something thousand playing the no build, and then 200,000 or 300,000 playing the build, and then all the other games that people make.
Look, we have another person.
Yes, we do.
And I'm not going for. I'm just wandering around within feet of each other.
Hello. How is it?
Welcome, Paul. Good to see you.
Hey, Paul.
How's it going, man?
Thanks for having me on here again.
Oh, yeah. Said the door is always open, man.
Sweet. Thank you very much. How is everyone?
Not too
Hanging in
shabby.
there.
Decent. How are you?
It's an interesting question, isn't it? How is everyone? And someone's about to go, oh, man, earlier I just had bad diarrhea. Like, it's general, yeah, everything's great. Yeah. We had a great commercial here in Australia where it was like someone on an aeroplane, and the person gets on the aeroplane, sits next to this guy, and it's a lady, and she's like, oh, yeah, hi, how are you? And he's like, oh, great, now, but earlier. And you see her face just go, oh, shit, this is going to be a long flight.
Well, it's almost like you can tell what generation people come from just by asking them how you're doing. You know, it seems like the younger generation, they don't realize that it's just a pleasantry. It's like saying hello. That's all I'm doing, is saying hello in a little bit nicer way. I don't really care how you're doing. I don't want to hear about, all the woes and this and that in your life. I don't even know you. I'm just walking by and saying, hey, how's it going? But yeah, they say that a lot of these younger generations now are like so into sharing their feelings that when you ask them, just in pleasantries, how are you doing? They're going to tell you their whole life story and every bad thing that's ever happened to them.
Well, it's a competition, don't you know? You got to compete for the most sympathy. See how I've been victimized my whole life?
It's a part
I was victimized that +1, Josh. So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, my general response is, yeah, good. I mean, there's plenty of things I could whinge about, but no one gives a shit. Apart from the people that...
Damn, because I was about ready to win the conversation being just a girl. But now you're telling me nobody gives a shit, so I don't get to be the winner?
Well, you got to be careful, because then soon someone who is a black, trans, homosexual...
An identifier? Right.
In a wheelchair will come in and say, well, I win. So being a white girl is terrible these days. I mean, if you're white, it doesn't really matter.
What about this? What if you're the only group of people that have to go off to fight a war against your will? How about that oppressed class?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't talk about men.
Yeah, we don't talk about that, Josh.
We don't talk about men. Men don't have problems. What are you talking about?
Rub some dirt on it. You'll be fine.
That's it.
Highest rates of suicide. What if there was a group that had like hands down the highest rates of self-harm? All sorts of words we can't say on here. I don't monetize this shit. Fuck it. What are they going to do?
I'll say, for what? For them to take all our money away? I mean, they're taking videos regardless of what we say, so...
That being said, if you want to support Iron Realm Media, find us over on PayPal. Or actually, we have a Patreon, too. You get a little more than guitar vids and bunny pictures, but you get them.
You do get them. In fact, I've got one on my phone I just made yesterday. So you might get one tonight.
I got a good picture of Yango with his tongue hanging out. Maybe it's Yennefer, I forget. Yennefer's got the big...
How's Yennefer doing?
Just a parasite. That's what the vet thinks.
Cool.
She had
not cool, but...
Well, no, that's
survivable.
No, it was one of those things. I had to wake up this morning before the show, and I'm out there, get my coffee started. Then I remember, oh, that's right. I got to go back and check to make sure the bunny's still alive. So now I'm like creeping, forcing myself to take each step because God forbid. She's like, she's going to be fine. She's going to be fine. Probably nothing. I'll take her to the vet.
Like an injection or something, or you got to whack some tablets in her.
Oh, if only it were that easy. It's like the consistency of toothpaste. I don't know how she does it.
Yummy.
The other stuff was like thin, like just go in a little syringe and you hold the bunny and you kind of stick it in the side of their mouth and you get it in there and you just blast it down their throat. They don't like it much, usually. Some of them. Some do like it. Depends on the medicine. But this stuff is so thick and gross that I don't think there's anybody that really likes it. I don't know how in the hell they even administer it, but guess that's all you need. But they both got to have it. Poor Yango, now he's got to have nasty toothpaste medicine smeared in his mouth, and he didn't have any parasites.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, rabbit life. Hashtag rabbit life.
Hashtag rabbit.
Fuck.
Yeah, I've got 4 guinea pigs that I inherited from a previous relationship, which I didn't want in the first place. And then I...
Wait, the guinea pigs or the relationship?
Well, both. But yeah, I ended up with the guinea pigs after you sit there saying, like, I don't want the guinea pigs because I know I'm going to end up with them. And what happened? I ended up with the guinea pigs. I mean, they're funny little buggers, but I just can't be buggered with the responsibility.
We had a little one. Her name was Jeanette. And we had a huge cage for her. Because, guinea pigs aren't that big. It was like 6 feet long, like 3 feet wide. It was just this huge cage. And we had it right in the living room. So she could hang around with everybody. She would go into my sister's room. There was a smaller one in there for her. But this one, and she would like race around it. It was hilarious. She'd get all excited. Oh, she was so cute.
Called popcorning, where they just like all of a sudden jump in the air.
It's because they're so
Jump in the
happy.
air.
That's how you know they're really happy.
It's hilarious.
It's great, isn't it? It's like one of the best things in the fucking world. It's because they're prey animals.
Yeah.
Think of
so they're just
little kids, how they like play fight. Yeah, if they have to evade like a hawk or a predator, that's how they're going to do it. So they're just basically practicing and making sure they got the moves and has what it takes to be able to escape and evade.
Yeah. If anyone's never seen it, it's called popcorning. Just type in guinea pig and popcorning and you'll see it. It's pretty funny. It's way funnier in real life.
They are so cute.
Rabbits, we call it a binky.
I want to see popcorning now. I'm curious. What's...
Yeah, just Google it. It's pretty funny.
All right. By the way, everybody, I am here. I'm just like inches off screen because it's too easy to fold and do things when I'm in my room with stuff that needs to be done. But yeah, I've got you all up on the big screen and I forget that you get the empty thing. I should probably just close the camera and make you look at an empty chair, eh? Because it's so hard to sit still by talking to you guys. Sitting still and right here, I've got the AirPods on, got the cozy room. I'm looking at the big TV right there, the little screen there, trying to chat.
Oh, yeah, Billingtano. Guinea pigs get the zoomies, too. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Oh, fun. I love zoomies. Love zoomies.
And then the neighbors, she wasn't old or anything like that. We had her for about 1.5 years. And the little girl across the street just fell in love with her. And her parents were like, oh, we know she likes that one. And we know that one, is whatever. It's not like you house train guinea pigs. They stay in the cage. They poop in there. You clean it up. I don't know what I don't know why they didn't want to go get their own. But she wanted that one. So my sister, because it was my sister's guinea pig, and they were real close friends. So she let her have her guinea pig. Gave her the cage and everything, all that stuff. Jeanette was just right across the street. She could go visit whenever she wanted. 2 days later, Jeanette passed away. The little girl decided, I'm going to give the guinea pig a bath.
Oh, God.
Well, you don't give guinea pigs baths. And if you do, you make sure 100% that they are completely dry, which is like impossible to do, which is why you don't give them baths. And yeah, she caught pneumonia and she was dead in like 2 days. And it's like the parents, it's like, come on. When you take on an animal, granted, this was before the internet, but there was libraries with all kinds of books and whatnot. If you're going to get an animal and you know nothing about it, go learn something about it first. Like what it can eat, what it can't eat, how you're supposed to clean it. All that kind of stuff. Don't just go get an animal and hope for the best. Let a 7-year-old take care of it. Oh, I was so mad.
Yeah, that's like when I was a kid. I had a guinea pig when I was younger, maybe around that sort of 7 or 8 mark. And we lived in a sort of local town called Gore here in South Australia. And it gets pretty cold out there. Not like super cold, but, nighttime might hit, 0 to -1. And, we had only one guinea pig, and they say you should have at least two, unless, of course, you're around them all the time. But generally, they need two because they're sociable animals. And our guinea pig was just outside the whole time on its own. And, now I look back and I think, what was my mum thinking? That poor little thing, like it's free. I'm surprised it didn't die. It probably did. I can't really remember. But that's probably why it probably died early. I was just a kid. What was I supposed to do? My mum a bit more.
Well, even rabbits. Rabbits in the 90s lived like 5 years max. Like domesticated rabbits, lab rabbits that they did tests on and shit like that because it just didn't know. Once you start learning about rabbits and you put them into proper habitat with a proper diet, damn near tripled their lifespan. It's nuts.
Crazy.
They live that long?
Mm-hmm.
Jeepers.
Like 10, 12 probably is about typical, I think. One that's well cared for, fixed, and all that good stuff. Yeah.
I think so much of it is love. You give an animal a reason to stick around, and just love. They seem to be healthier, the ones that are loved all the time. I tell Hank and Minion, I make it a point to say, love you. Love, 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 love. I'll just say the word love over and over and over again while I'm petting them, just so they hear that word with that, intention behind it. But I tell them all the time how much I love them. And like I said, Hank's never been to a vet, and he looks healthy. He's got a nice, soft coat, shiny and all that kind of stuff. Real active at 10 years old. He still gets the zoomies and runs around. Yeah, I think love is so important for animals' well-beings. For everyone's well-being, really. Love is it's like the best medicine on earth for keeping you, keeping you healthy. That's just my opinion, though. Not a doctor. Don't even play one here on YouTube.
Well, Hank has got motivation too. He also not only feels loved, but he feels seriously needed because he's here to protect, and he takes his job seriously. He protects us from the squirrels and the people driving in the street in front of the house and that. But no, they are loved dogs, and really, it does show when you're interacted with as opposed to ignored. Any animal, any person, you ignore, you neglect, you don't take care of, or have no, again, emotional attachment with, what would be the point? What would be the point?
Have a look at the lazy cat there.
I do know, as far as sad, childhood stories, I have one where I was given a goldfish when I was a little girl, and I took good care of it, and we had a fight. We were 5 kids in our family, and we had to share. So when I did get the goldfish, they made me keep it in like this main bathroom, which was a huge bathroom. And actually there was a corner around it and big shelves, and we kept the tank on a shelf so everybody could look at it and enjoy the fish. And I fed the fish every day and everything, but I had a sister 7 years younger than me who decided to get up early one day and feed the fish. And instead of reaching under the cabinet and doing the fish food, she fed the fish Comet. I can tell you that Comet. Yes.
Yeah, that's not going to work out very well.
It did not work out well at all. So that's another thing is consider like cylinder containers and markings, or again, keep 4-year-old little sisters away from feeding your fish. But even with the best of intentions, sometimes there is a
Yeah, the little girl across the street wasn't trying to hurt her or anything, She was just trying to be, the big girl and give her new baby a bath, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, the parents should have been a little more like, hey, we need to, see how this is supposed to be done at least, or this or that or whatnot. I mean, we would have told them, no, do not give her a bath. No, unless you want to spend the next hour and a half sitting there trying to dry her off.
Yeah, and then was the guinea pig just outside? If it was just outside after it was wet and then yeah, sure. But if they were going to have it inside the whole time, it wouldn't have been quite so bad.
No, yeah, I think she was staying out in the garage. It was like summertime, but it still got kind of chilly, especially at night. Yeah, I was not happy.
Yeah, I guess it's just what happens when we're kids. We do things.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Daryl Davis in chat. I see you there. There's a shout out to everybody in chat, not just Daryl, but everybody there. I see you all. 3 Fingers.
Yeah,
what's up, 3 Fingers? Ian, Boston Bray, Sarah G, Valerie, Liz, MFT, Musicians for Truth.
MFT.
Where you think there's a whole
I miss having y'all at my house. I really miss having y'all at the house.
Lord Racer, what's up, Nathan? All sorts of folks. She's Nemo. I'm just scrolling fast. Sorry if I missed you, Liz. I know I saw you there. I don't know if I said your name already or if that was just in my head.
Nathan asked me an interesting question today that I had never thought of before. Is there a way to locate the sun when it's heavy clouds out?
So the Vikings...
Like it was today, we had a heavy overcast today, and no matter what time I went out there, I'd look up at the sky. I couldn't tell you exactly where the sun was. There was no light spot. It was just gray. Must have been real thick clouds or whatnot, but I couldn't tell you which direction the sun was coming from at all.
So at the beginning of that,
anybody with their experience of times past, that would be it, really, wouldn't it?
Well,
yeah, I'm just wondering: is there a device that can see through clouds?
So that TV show Vikings,
Sunstone.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Josh. Didn't mean to spoil it.
Nope, that was it. The TV show Vikings starts out with, I think, Ragnar on the boat, and they can't find the sun, and they're trying to locate it. So he whips out a real thin sheet of crystal, basically, and holds it up and looks at it and finds the sun through the clouds while looking through this piece of crystal. I called it a sunstone. I think Dixie and I even stopped and looked it up to see if that was a real fucking thing, because it just seemed so strange. And apparently it is. I don't remember exactly what it was we learned or how far we got into it, but that was something I have heard of being used to find the sun in the clouds.
So I'm kind of looking it up real quick, too.
Yeah.
I remember us talking about it early on, like this was probably, Adam and John days, and that it was a very, maybe not, kind of situation.
Of course, there's a frickin' thing in Pokemon called the Sunstone, so everything that pops up is Pokemon related.
Is there? It must be one that's not in Pokemon Go.
American Mind, Oregon, Schiller, Sunstone. Okay, Sunstone.
Try Sunstone Ancient
Mineral.
Navigation. Sunstone Navigation Tool.
Microline or Oligoclus Feldspar.
So I found something. Here's what I found. Yeah, the sunstone is Icelandic, is a type of mineral attested in the several 13th and 14th century written sources there in Iceland, which describes its use locating the sun in overcast skies. It's also mentioned in 14th and 15th century Germany. Theory exists that the sunstone had polarizing attributes. Where are you at, Cami? And was used as a navigational instrument by seafarers in the Viking Age. There was a stone found in 2002 off of Alderney and a wreck of a 16th century warship, but no real evidence that it was working. So that's
here
kind of what I had
I've been
remembered.
listening and looking up while doing it on the thing. I was wondering, and I was going to put out to Josh or to Zack that on these overcast days, we should just try going out with polarized filters and seeing if that will do it, and then see what stones would polarize it. But now, yeah, doing this on here, I have like the articles up. Did Vikings navigate by polarizing light? Scientific America. Viking legend tells of a glowing sunstone. Oops, we're going to have to put the glasses on to read this. Do you want me to send this to you? Do you want me to drop it in the chat or read it?
Yeah, both. Either all of that. Do that. All that.
Act it out. Act it out through interpretive dance.
Do it.
Oh, wait.
Okay, why can't, you know what, this is stupid, Zack. It won't let me put it in the show chat, but I put it in your chat.
Do it.
And you can put it in the show chat.
Do it.
Karen B, Ted
Now-
Summer, and Sherry Ives. Hello as well.
Uh-huh.
I'm not seeing nothing in my chat. I don't know.
And
what
Good Times
you're-
for All, I just sent
Hold on,
it
I'm
to
just
Good Times for All.
Okay. I'm not seeing nothing. Last thing I got from you was Thursday.
That's funny. It's sitting here as a draft. Oh my God. It's sitting as a draft even though I didn't originate it. And it won't let me click into your account because I'm on the show. Hmm?
No, that's
What?
something. Well, there you go, Nathan. If you're still out there, brother, we're going to have to look into getting a sunstone or finding the sun. Finding
That-
sun.
Okay, I got it to send to you. With much effort. Now, when I read, you can go along, or you guys can do it, but at least get you a visual up.
Okay, let me see. To be fair,
To be fair,
To be fair.
go like that there, and I'll do one of these.
put
Whoop,
that
whoop.
there. Make it hard, make it there. But it goes into a Viking legend, tells of a glowing sunstone that, when held up to the sky, revealed the position of the sun even on a cloudy day. It sounds like magic, but scientists measuring the properties of light in the sky say that polarizing crystals, which function in the same way as the mythical sunstone, could have had ancient sailors cross the northern Atlantic. A review of their evidence was published July 31st in Philosophical Transactions of Royal Society B. Now, keep in mind that Iceland is also where all of the spheric calcite, or the Icelandic spheric optical calcite is from, where they're renowned for how clear their calcite, which is highly, highly double refractive and will polarize light. So that's, again, another stone that they've worked with and done some things with too. But the Viking seafarers from Scandinavia, who traveled widely and settled in swatches of northern Europe and the British Isles and the northern Atlantic from around 750 to 1050 AD, were skilled navigators, able to cross thousands of kilometers of open sea between Norway, Iceland, and Greenland. It will stop on there too. On their perpetual daylight during the summer sailing season in the far north would have prevented them from using the stars as a guide to their positions, and the magnetic compass had yet to be introduced in Europe, even though they were using it, by the way, in Asia. So I'm not quite sure if it was not introduced in Europe yet. In any case, it would have been of limited use up so close to the North Pole, which would be true. But Viking legends, including an Icelandic saga centering on the hero Sigurd, hint that these sailors had another navigational aid at their disposal: a solarstein, or a sunstone.
Okay,
The
hold
saga
on.
describes
Solarstein.
Solarstein.
Solar Stein. I'm just messing with you.
I'm
I
just
thought about it.
Like
looking up things.
Solar
Okay,
is sun, and
that's-
stein should be stone.
Solarstein gives me nothing but, oh, there's one, sunstone. But it's not see-through.
that article
it's like,
I dropped there to the right from Science, whatever, it talks about birefringence. I know you must know more about that.
I know
than
all
we
about.
do
Okay,
there, Cami.
birefringence
I
is really
figured you
easy.
did.
isn't
Fire-
that calcite? What calcite
Yeah,
does?
calcite.
Yeah,
the
through
calcite.
calcite.
You
Yep,
can calcite's got an
Absolutely.
extremely large birefringence and can polarize light phenomenally. That's when you see that you'll see on the polarization when you hold it into it. We've done it many times on the show, and that's where you're looking at like a line underneath the calcite, and it'll actually break it into the stone. It will polarize it into two different positions. and with the polarized filter, you can isolate the 1 and 2 on the axes, and the birefringence would be the distance between those two axes. I need to learn how to talk in English. But I've done the demonstration. In other words, you know how that line jumps, how much the line jumps when I put it on there?
Mm-hmm.
The amount that line jumps as I'm doing it would be the amount of birefringence. And so, and that's how far it's polarizing it. So yeah, in that area that they're doing it, they're talking about sunstone, which I could have told you is opaque. And I was wondering if they were looking at patterns to do it. But here, this makes much more sense. To check his answer, Olaf grabbed a sunstone, looked at the sky, and saw that where the light came, and when he guessed the position of the invisible sun. Thorkild Ramdusk, a Danish archaeologist, suggested the stone could have been a polarizing crystal such as Icelandic spar, which is a transparent form of calcite, which is common in Scandinavia. So that's what I said is what we refer to as sunstone doesn't make sense doing it, but what they happen to have up there in abundance, which is calcite, that they refer to as spar, that we've done all kinds of demonstrations, and we can, again, do that more. I can't mock one up tonight, but most nights I can mock it up.
So really, Austin and Jaron just need a nice piece of calcite.
Yes, they do.
That would be important for them to take.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And by the way, I have multiple pieces at the thing, but I mean, it's actually easier probably for them to get. It's not hard to get.
Yeah. No, I'll have to make sure I mention that to him this weekend.
Definitely.
Big shout out. Commercial sound and video, Nathan. Good thinking, brother. I had never thought of. I always just said that day's a wash. But what if they go down there and, all 3 or 4 days, however long it's supposed to be, are super cloud covered? That would kind of suck.
It's pretty much there's going to the typical
Karen
weather is like that
suggested
though.
them taking some sunstone with them for this very reason.
Well, and it would be we'll have to test it. We'll go out with this. I have this that we can test and get good usage of it before even talking to them. This Sunday, I'm sure we'll have more overcast days. Well, hopefully tomorrow. But before they go, but we'll definitely, we've got plenty of pieces to test with it.
Actually, it was the first one. I'm sorry. I thought it was the second one I dropped. In that first one, it talks about the rings. Even on cloudy days, sky would form a pattern of concentric rings of polarized light with the sun at its center if you're using this crystal, which is the calcite. So that's, pretty crazy.
I have, again, right now, this is going to be like when they came and asked, do I have any Polaroid filters? I probably have 12 to 15 different pieces of optical calcite in the house. So it's in the rolls that I haven't unpacked from Flattoberfest yet. So I would even kind of mock up a fun demonstration for you here. But I know I've done it on the show several times. It's where you're looking at the lines and I make the lines, 2 lines and then one and then the other. And that would make perfect sense with the sun. That's why we are looking at the sky with the polarized lights. And it'll be interesting, the orientation and what difference that makes too on it. Again, where there's a need, people figure out ways. And again, the magnetic compass was, I forgot how long ago was that. Has been used since antiquity. So at 1000 AD, it doesn't make much sense that they hadn't heard of that either. But again, these technologies, if you look at the technologies they used of old, even again, like that fancy mirror I had that was etched in, these are technologies that, again, are still way, way, way far more advanced than when you talk about people in the old age and in the dark age before we had tools in the Middle Ages, and they were cavemen and they had no schools and they had even, again, it doesn't work like that. They were highly skilled and they had a lot of knowledge.
Lots of knowledge. Like those heads on Easter Island. Those aren't just heads. There's bodies that go way down into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just watched that thing that you posted in the Globebusters chat or whatever it was, Zach, on that sage wall. That's pretty crazy.
Is that
Did
not
you
crazy?
watch the skeletons in the cupboard? Is that what you're talking about, or something else?
No, the sage wall. That had to do with
Montana?
the monolith up in Montana. Just this huge, it's like two walls that run parallel to each other for really long distance. And they're huge stones, all like perfectly laid.
Mm-hmm.
One was up to 90 tons.
Montana list. There you go. Monolith in Montana. I'm not familiar. Can you send a link?
Yeah.
What? Montana list. Band name. Called it.
Sherry Ives' new password. Montana lith. Yeah, we could just take a look at it right now if y'all.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And there's
It
even
goes down 15 feet.
Yeah, that's
under the ground.
insane. That's a big wall.
Didn't we cover this? Did we talk about this on the show at least a couple of times?
Oh yeah,
I thought.
As soon as I see it, I'll probably go, oh yeah, duh. I mean, I do that anyway. Most of the day.
That looks natural, doesn't it? It looks like
When I hear
natural formations
monolith,
to me.
I think more of like a
Stonehenge.
thing, right? A one thing. It's there by itself. It's just a stone. Or
Okay,
it's a carving, or
megalith.
it's
Sorry, yeah, it's a megalith. What was that?
right. There we go. I'll take that. That's better.
Say it as many times as you want. I still hear it in a Mike Tyson voice.
Now that looks no way. See, it doesn't all look the same either. I don't know if these are all from even the same place.
I don't think those other ones are. I reckon the one where you see the person, that one there that you're on.
Yeah.
Right? That one I think is probably it. And definitely the one underneath that. The one underneath it to the right is definitely it.
Yeah, I want to go see this. And look at that. Look at how perfectly straight. And it's like two of them that are running right next. And then there'll be parts of the wall that are like, there'll be like one of these, but it'll be like a triangle shaped, like this. And then on the other wall, there's another spot just like that in the same spot. And there's multiple, like there was a beam there or something, or it was supporting something almost.
I
But
think
they
they're
have-
actually saying as well that there's a few more little bits and pieces scattered around as well. It's not just the two walls. There's a little bit more to it. Oh, it's like it was a whole structure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that little thing that you that 20-minute little documentary you posted, they were mentioning that there's even more to it. So it goes around and like as if it was an actual I don't know, not structure. Obviously, it's a structure, but like it was a whole area. It was all different parts to it.
Have you heard of what's this called? I'm gonna find this. It's the largest structure, man-made structure in history, and apparently the British went and destroyed it in the 1880s or something like that. Maybe it was a wall in Nigeria. What is this?
They destroyed it. That's what you do. You just go around and destroy all the old stuff so no one knows about it.
The Great Wall of Benin, it was called. I just saw this. And it was that one, I forget his name. He goes around and looks for extinct animals. He like goes all over the world trying to find these extinct animals. He was talking about this. Now, there's not going to be any photos of it.
That just sounds like a big do-nothing job. I'm looking for animals that don't exist anymore.
Well, he's found a couple.
Well,
He found a tortoise they thought was extinct, or was claimed to be extinct.
Claimed to be extinct. Sure, we can claim all sorts of shit. There's not a single zebra around here. Motherfuckers must be extinct.
just that the crystal that you had earlier actually repels zebras, and that is clearly working.
By the way, I don't know if anybody cares, but the video I just dropped into the show chat, I haven't watched the video, but it's called Seeing Double, Iceland Explorer, the mineral that changed science. But the thumbnail itself was showing exactly what I was talking about that I've demonstrated, where you're looking to run the two lines. And if you were to show that picture on there, that distance between those two lines is the birefringence, and is always the same with the calcite. It's one of the properties.
What did that say just above that, Zack? The British launched a retaliatory offensive in 1897. So what, these people from Africa went to England and attacked them?
Well, no, as the British were trespassing on their land, they probably attacked them. And then a retaliatory attack to that probably took place.
So they
just
probably
like, it's just like the U.S. today, you know, like, yeah, we're blowing shit up in Syria and stuff, and we weren't asked to be there, and we're actually told not to be there, but if they attack us, we're going to retaliate.
Yeah, I would say that the British went there and probably attacked them in the first place, as they did all around the world, went around and tried to exterminate the indigenous people.
Known to have been the largest man-made structure in West Africa, built in 1010. With a circumference of about 16.8 kilometers.
How about all those circles in Africa? Have you seen that? I'm not sure what they're called. It's over something like 100,000 acres or like 1 million acres of land. Circles just everywhere. Seen that?
Uh-uh.
I have no idea. Do not remember what it's called at all, but there's this entire circles everywhere. It covers something close to 1 million square kilometers. No, sorry, a million.
Currently, is this something you know about currently?
Well, it's ancient, so it's like no one sort of knew it was there until they saw it from overhead, because you can't almost tell from on the ground. But going above, you just see all these circles everywhere.
Well, digging into the history of my area, I live in South Louisiana, which is a southern state in the Gulf Coast region of the United States. And so, you know, as we uncover all the lies and we started kind of looking into the lies of history together, I started digging into the history here just to see what might have been missed. You know, I found out, of course, our old courthouse here in town used to be an extravagant, amazing building they tore down to put up this brutalism, big concrete box looking thing, you know, the usual crowd. But another thing I found out about this area, when it was first being settled, like when it was plains here. Now, this part of the world where I live is southern. It's the silt runoff from the Mississippi River we live on, basically. And so it's really rich. There's a lot of sugarcane industry here, but it's very wet soil, wet land here. You can't really, like, we don't bury our dead. We put them in mausoleums because they'll literally float up. And at one point, when this was still plains, that's how far back the history we're talking about, they discovered these holes, millions of holes in this area, and they could not figure out why they were here. They didn't make any sense geologically. The theory, this is the best theory they could come up with, that the buffalo would get in little tight-knit, little, like 2 or 3 together and run around in a circle trying to keep the bugs and the fighting flies and all that shit off each other. That's the best theory they could come up with these fucking circles. Now, they're not here now geologically because, again, all the silt and the runoff and the years of this being basically the butthole of the United States, it's all not here anymore. But yeah, when you said that about the circles, that's the first thing I thought of. I'm trying to dig around right now and find that story. I don't remember where. Oh, you know, that may even be in a book that I found that in actually here in the house. So I probably want to be able to find that online. The other thing I thought about is up in the northern region, northeast region around Washington, and I think it's in Washington. There's a train ride you can take that goes through this certain little snowy, mountainy area. It's the Christmas train, Santa Claus, and all this stuff. But it passes through this region where there's these thousands of mounds that are unusual, don't make sense for the area, the geology of that part of the world either. See if I can find them too. Give me a few minutes. I'm digging for a lot of stuff. Actually, I was trying to find Grand Canyon stuff. I'm on a geological hunt. It'll take me a minute. You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
So it says that Benin, the city, made a lot of their riches during the slave trade. I'm wondering if that's why the British went in there. Doubt it, but they were allegedly the ones who, stopped a lot of the slave trading that was going on. City offered fierce. It won't tell me how high the walls were. $1,200 British soldiers. Yada, yada, yada. But the walls were 5 times longer than the Great Wall of China. And they just went around this city, but it was like split into a bunch of different. See, I don't think it was circular like this, though. It's looking, the stuff I'm seeing down here, it looks a lot more square. With big, tall walls, and then people lived in little sections. It was saying there was 11 different sections, and then a city center, and yada, yada, yada.
I'm just found that one that I was talking about. It's in South Africa. And apparently, it covers an area of 5,000 square kilometers.
Wow.
There's so that Michael Tellinger was talking about it. That's where I saw it, and he estimates that there's about 100,000 of these circle structures.
That's wild. That's like the stuff they're finding down in the Amazon now that they're doing that LiDAR to find things in the jungle. And they're just finding roads and cities and all kinds of stuff.
Still haven't found the circles yet here in Louisiana, but I did find those weird mounds that are up in Washington State. I thought I had one open. I've got too much going on, but I'll show you.
Your
there
poor
we go.
Computer. You're not using that tab thing, are you?
No, right now this is only for the show that I've done all this. That tab thing's full over there to the left. My computer will blow up any second now, but yeah. This is pretty crazy. Nobody has. The only theory is something to do with like bubbling, bubbling up of some kind of, at some time frame. It bubbled up and it somehow that all froze in place. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, guys. Kind of like that whole, buffalo stomping the holes in the circle. I can find the mound. Now, we have mound, a place called Poverty Point here in Louisiana. That's got the mounds and the circles, but that's not what I'm looking for. Anyway, I'll stop.
I checked when something bubbles, the bubble normally pops.
Pops. Thank you. Thank you.
If it did, wouldn't
But again, you're using that whole logical thinking thing that's kind of out of vogue these days.
Well, speaking of logical thinking, actually, can I share my screen and just go over this?
Yeah, man. Did I stop sharing? Yeah, I did. There you go. Take it away.
Okay, let me...
Closing tabs even as we speak, Zack.
Or computer. I can just hear the smoke trying to get out of those wires. It's about to burst at the seams.
Okay, now, because I'm not great at this, am I sharing the right thing? Can you see everything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You can see this one?
They are seeing the same thing.
There you go.
All right, cool. Now, I'm just going over this tiny little bit here because this is, hold on, I didn't want it to do that. Anyway, all right. So, as I described this in the previous presentation on what we're actually seeing and how when something comes up over the horizon, the people are seeing the exact same thing as what's going on the opposite side of the horizon. Well, randomly the other day when one of my cameras was pointing at Brighton Jetty, I captured this. We have this little sailing boat coming along, and what do we notice about as the sailing boat comes closer and closer to us? Notice where it is on the horizon in relation to the horizon. You see the horizon getting higher and higher and higher on the sail as it gets closer and closer and closer to us. Now let's just imagine, what are they seeing from the other side? What are they seeing from the other side of that jetty? Right? So
Like the exact opposite.
The exact opposite, right? So this is what it looked like before that, as it cruised past on the opposite side of the horizon. Now, I can tell that because of those reef markers there, they are 5.5 miles away. And if we go back to this one, we can see that the buoy is there, so that when this gets to here, it blocks that marker channel, like that reef marker. So we know that that boat there is in between 3.6 to 5.5 miles away. And clearly there is no curvature at that distance on their model. So as it cruised by, then 30 minutes later, it came past. And we see it get lower and lower and lower, and we notice how that the sail in relation to the horizon is getting lower and lower and lower. Like looking from the other side, I reckon around this point, that's probably about where it was. Because we have to remember that for me, if all conditions being equal, for them on the other side, their horizon would be about 3.6 miles away as well. So now that this boat here is much closer to me, it's probably closer to about 6 miles away from the other jetty. As it gets closer and closer and closer to me, we see it get more and more of that sail hidden by the horizon. Now, what I've done is I just added a little bit extra because it went off screen there. And I just added like a little bit extra as if it was still coming a little bit closer. And it would eventually basically been so that the sail would have been completely hidden by the horizon. So now what I've done is just chuck some water over the top of it. And as it comes towards me, you see that the sail is getting hidden by the horizon. So then I've just done that of the boat, and we can clearly see the horizon getting higher in relation to the sail. We add the water again, and we see the sail disappearing. But obviously, because this is coming towards me, the sail's getting larger. If this was the other way around, the sail would obviously be getting smaller as it went away. So this would be a tip. And on this day, because it's an inferior mirage as well, it would have disappeared well before it got to that tip. So when it started, have a look, and the sail was 180 pixels, thereabouts. I didn't position that properly because I hadn't I just did this. And then the other sail is closer to well over 200, closer to 229 pixels. As it's getting closer, clearly it's getting larger. Now, if it was on the other side, as we know, it would be getting smaller. That's just a little picture of how everyone looked. Sorry, I just skipped through this. I just made a few little GIF things, and then now I just made this little one up. Boats don't go over a curve. It's all just a matter of perspective. And,
I like it.
Then we have this one here. I was trying to look for something where it was a boat, because I don't have anything of a sailing boat actually fully going away. And this one I found from Red's Rhetoric, and even though he's being a tool on his comments, I will still give him a thing at Red's Rhetoric there. That's his channel. If I'm sharing something of his, it's probably the right thing to do. Now, he showed this clearly claiming that it's going over the curve of the Earth, but what we're seeing here is an inferior mirage. So I've actually asked him on his comment section, like, well, tell me what an inferior mirage does to the horizon 100% of the time, Reds, and told him that he's just introduced a reification fallacy here. And rather than answering me, he goes, define the reification. He doesn't really want to answer the question because I know he can't answer the question.
Is that the horizon in the background?
In the background?
Behind the boat? No, I'm just seeing stuff.
Yeah. Horizon is in front. We can just see that it's clearly an inferior mirage. And then Travis from the Plain Truth did a video on this as well. And he must have been on a call just before that. and it's pretty funny because he comments. He goes, "Look, Sly, this is an inferior mirage. Your analysis is bad." So it's just it's going to add to my because I'm making a video called "Sly Can't Inferior Mirage," and this is 4 years ago, and he still can't inferior mirage 4 years later. So I've asked Travis if he can find, or if that conversation was recorded, because that would be fantastic to have that recorded and to show that this guy can't identify an inferior mirage. But yeah, so then this one's going away. So then what I've done is just sort of I removed all the background, made a little PNG of that boat, and we can see that boat, as it's going away, is getting smaller, right? Until eventually it's the sails. We only see that much of the sail, but it's behind an inferior mirage. So as we just showed, if this was the boat before the horizon, it would have been doing that. We would have seen the boat below the horizon, and we would have seen, probably the sail. Obviously, we would have seen the sail well below the horizon, just as I demonstrated. Now, apparently, they did a blink test or whatever, where they put the. Travis was saying that like they put the sailing boat there, and then did a blink test, trying to say like, oh, look at how much of the boat's underwater. But yeah, so as we can see, we just go back to the GIF that I'm going to make, that the boats are not going over the curve. They're literally doing the same thing on the same side of the horizon for us. So when something comes towards us, it's doing exactly the same thing that it does when it goes beyond the horizon. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I'm making a video of this right now. I just wanted to, thought I'd come on and just show everyone that.
It was a preview. I appreciate the hell out of it. That's awesome, man.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so it's just, it's almost like the creator giving me a gift. I start talking about this, and then all of a sudden there's this image of exactly what I've been saying coming straight to me just a few days later.
Isn't that wild how that works?
Yep. Something's going on there. It's like, here's the gift. Take
like
that.
You can add, you were probably asking for it. Like, maybe not openly or anything like that, but it was something that you really wanted. But you know how I bet so many people get what they're asking for or what they want, but they don't seize it, and they don't use it. It'll come and go, and then it's just, that's it.
Yeah, I agree. And so now after this, what I'm actually thinking of doing is heading down to my local marina or sailing boat club and just say, offering someone some money and saying, hey, look, do you mind doing something with me? I give you like a few $100s, and the next time you're going to take your boat out anyway, do you mind going past Grange Jetty, head down towards Hallett Cove? We can be in contact with each other. As soon as you get to the horizon, let's do GPS so we know exactly how far you are. And then can you turn towards Port Noarlunga and just go towards Port Noarlunga, and I'll just film it and take photos of it the entire way until they disappear. And then I'll get sort of like readings from them as they move away. And I'll do that before they get to the horizon as well. So that way we can watch them go closer to the horizon. And then as they come back, I'll film them again. I'll continually film them the whole way. So I'll get it going all the way out and then all the way back. Pretty sure someone will do it. I mean, if they're taking their boat out anyway, what's the difference?
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
Yeah,
that's a great idea, man.
Yeah, and that way then I'll be able to get GPS readings as well on exactly how far away they are.
Mm-hmm. Awesome,
yeah,
man.
that's my little share, and I just figured I might just sort of show that, because it pretty much backs exactly what I was saying about what's actually going on. So as far as I'm concerned, it's confirmation. It's not confirmation bias, it's just confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
I can stop sharing now. Where do I get to that again? I'll be down here.
It's probably to the right over there somewhere, and then you may have to confirm stop sharing actually once you hit it the first time.
Yeah, it always makes us confirm.
There we go. All right. Back to you guys.
Now, Sly can't inferior Mirage. I wonder if he can bulge.
If he can bowl.
Don't be gross.
Bulge? So apparently the way the tides work on their model is pretty astounding, actually. How do you say it? Mind-blowing? Is that, you getting that ready, Josh?
That's the funniest thing.
Oh, yeah, you heard it this morning.
Yeah, I was watching last night.
Oh, my
Just classic.
God. I can't even believe. That's what I was thinking when I was looking at the boat going over. I'm like, uh-oh, there's the bulge. Yeah.
Yeah,
and this is their brightest and greatest
I made a
scientism.
comment of like Neil deGrasse Tyson, the black man who probably doesn't have much of a bulge, so he had to write a thesis on it.
Right.
He was just upset that he didn't get gifted like everyone else.
I got to run the boys out real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. I was just going to play catch up and chat and see if anybody had any questions. What's up, Travis? I'll see you there, brother. Trying to type, but I have a lady on my keyboard sleeping.
So yeah,
I do.
I can play this real quick. And it's kind of separated into two parts. And I'll just play it all together. It's only about 3 minutes-ish grand total. But it really is. I heard it, and it took me a minute to try to figure out what the hell he was saying, because it just didn't make any sense from everything else I'd heard.
All right. The next thing I say may be mind-blowing to you.
Okay.
Okay. The tide doesn't actually come in and out. What? What happens is there is a bulge of water, two of them, on opposite sides of the Earth, caused by the sun and the moon, and Earth turns inside that bulge. Mm-hmm. So when we say the water rises and falls tidally, what's happening is we are rotating into the bulge and then out of the bulge.
So the bulge is already there.
It's already there.
And all we kind of do is pass through the bulge.
Pass through, and the water gets high and it gets low. So we're stuck with language from our own perspective rather than language of what's actually happening. It's simpler that way to say the water goes in and out. It's simpler to say the sun set rather than Earth rotated such that our angle of view on the stationary sun fell below our local horizon.
Right. Yeah, sunset is far more poetic.
You go to the sunset tables, to look this up.
Yeah, because you can't say to a girl, hey, how'd you like to go and watch the angular momentum of the Earth cause the sun to disappear behind a horizon?
Hello, where'd you go? Let's look at just the Earth and the moon for the moment.
Okay. Many people think the moon is what causes it.
No, the moon is 2/3 of the tides. Okay. The sun is another, it's 2/3, 3/4, depends on the distance. The sun has its own tides on the Earth.
Oh, snap.
Wait, in fact, the tides that the moon raises on Earth,
you pick whichever you want to use,
are the same no matter the phase.
Okay, no matter the phase of the moon, which there are some people believe that when you have a full moon, what you have is a higher tide because you have a fuller moon.
You do have a higher tide.
Oh, snap.
But the tide that the moon raises on the Earth is basically the same, no matter its phase.
No matter its phase.
What happens at full moon is that the sun's tides add to the moon's tides precisely.
Oh, snap. We talking about a tide assist from the sun?
Tide assist.
Oh.
A tide assist. And so that's why.
And that coincides with the full moon.
Coincides with the full moon. Because the full moon, you got the moon here, Earth and the sun, everybody lines up.
That's what it is.
In fact, we have a word for that. It has the most number of letters when scripted dip below the line.
Okay.
I know that's a weird record to hold.
Right.
The word is syzygy. So syzygy is when 3 or more objects come into alignment cosmically.
Right.
So you have the moon, the Earth. The moon will have the same tide it would at any time, but now it lines up with the sun.
Right.
They add together, you get the highest tides at full moon and new moon. So now I ask you, when would you get the lowest tides?
When the sun is not lined up.
Okay, let me quantify that. So when the sun is at 90 degrees, the sun is pulling this way, and the moon is pulling that way, and the two waves basically cancel.
Exactly.
They try to cancel one of them. So you have the lowest tide. It's called the neap tide.
The
We have
neap?
Neap.
Neap tide.
Neap tide.
See, look at this. It's not the moon. It was the sun all
The
along.
time. It was the sun all the time.
I see, and you think because...
Wait. So when people say, I feel
There you
the
go.
extra tidal forces from the moon when it's full, it's just bullshit.
There you have it. Now, he clearly said that we're rotating within a bulge of water. The mental gymnastics I was attempting this morning, thinking, it's going to be a bulge in the gravitational waves that would create the bulge in the water whilst as we spun through it or whatever. But nope, the way he described it was completely retarded.
Yeah, so we have this bulge of water. So the Earth rotates inside the water, yet the air is glued to the ball.
Yes.
And travels with it.
Uh-huh.
The ball doesn't rotate inside the air. The air, which is gas, which is just going everywhere, sticks to the ball, but the water, which is far more viscous, the ball rotates through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
How many leaps of logic do you have to make to even consider that to be true?
Well, I don't understand why they say at full moon we would have the highest tide. That makes no sense. You have the moon pulling one way and the sun pulling the other way. So wouldn't that kind of cancel each other out? It would only be a high tide during a new moon when the sun and moon are on the same side of the Earth pulling together. But when the moon's on the other side of the Earth, it's going to be,
it's just two bulges.
Canceling it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't really cancel it, but it splits it.
Logic.
It divides it. Instead of one big bulge on one side, you've got two smaller bulges, one on either side.
But then also, what are they saying? That the moon is pulling the Earth one direction a few feet, and then when it goes to the other side, it's pulling the Earth in another direction, the opposite? So that's creating this actual movement of the Earth a few feet every 12 hours? Because they say that on one side it's pulling the water, but then it also pulls the Earth a little bit, and that's what creates the tide on the other side. So that means that the Earth is being pulled a few feet towards the moon or towards the sun, and then when it's on the opposite side, it's being pulled that direction. So it's literally pulling the Earth from one side to the other a few feet every day. That's what they're saying. That's insane. You try to rack that in your brain. So it's pulling the Earth one way for one moment, and then 12 hours later, it's pulling the Earth the opposite direction. But it's not really. It's pulling it as it's going around. So the Earth is making this weird pulling circular motion. Is that what they're trying to say? Because that doesn't make fucking sense.
Franks and beans. Billingtano says it best.
Franks and beans. With my baseball.
Oh, man. Yes, Travis, we're in Skype.
That is so many leaps of logic. It's just ridiculous. And how's the way they're just, I'm going to say it, how's the way that they're just jerking each other off the whole time? Like,
I
he says
know.
something just ridiculous. And he's like, oh, wow, you're so profound.
Snap.
Oh, snap.
Damn.
Oh.
That's classic the way they do that. Like, oh my God, you're so smart. You're so smart. We don't even understand you. That's how smart you are.
I gotta say though, Neil's very good at sounding like he knows what he's talking about. Even in an argument, like when he was explaining things to Joe Rogan, even though Joe didn't give much pushback. Come on, let's be real about it.
Confidence.
Well,
But-
when he was dropping the mic.
Yeah.
All it takes is a bit of confidence. Just say it with some confidence. Most people won't question you, and the ones that do, you can just hand wave dismiss them and act like you're cooler than they are.
Go, Travis.
Franked and beans. I'm gonna have that in my head. What up, Travis?
Hey, hello everybody.
What's up, Travis?
Oh, come on, give it to us. We don't get to hear it all that much.
Give it to us, Travis. Give it to us good.
Hello. What ho?
There it is. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh man, so I moved to Colorado a month ago, and I was just trusting whatever to bring something my way. And in terms of work, I didn't want to go back into trucking, and where I'm at, there's absolutely no volume for Uber. So finally I got a call from Charlie's Grocers, which is just like 2 blocks away from me, and it's been around since 1930 something. So the past 2 days I've been on my feet. And I'm exhausted. I've been in the deli section and making sandwiches and processing meat and working with people. And
in 3 weeks, you're going to feel amazing, Travis.
You can do it. That's true. No. I know I can do it, but I'm just. I think I've got to get new footwear.
Oh yeah, dude, especially on hard floors like that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Go get a good pair of running shoes. Don't get hiking boots. No, you want
my
light.
Hiking boots are that's all I got right now. So I got to
light running shoes.
Dr. Scholes.
Where are you in Colorado, Travis? Where'd you live up there? Where are you? Are you in Denver or
I am
in Colorado?
I'm about 2 hours south of Denver on 25 in
Pueblo.
an hour and an hour and 20 minutes south of Pueblo in La Veda.
And conditions have gotten bad because from the south end of Denver, I could blow down in 2 hours to Pueblo all the time. But okay. Driver. Yeah.
La Veda, Colorado.
La Veda, I know where. Okay. That's a remote. That's very.
It is absolutely remote.
Isn't that where they did all of the transgender operations?
Oh, that's beyond my pay grade.
No, I'm serious.
Well,
no, I'm serious.
I mean, look, I'll listen to what you got to say.
Look into this because in that area down there is like in the 70s, 80s, or that is where people all over the world went for that when it was a very specialized operation that was for adults only type of thing. But I mean, I'm talking going like the original, the very first one I think was done there. You might be in a place that's famous for that, Travis. That's interesting. See what La Veda, Colorado has to say. I'm a Colorado girl, but I don't remember La Veda.
Okay, so look, if I'm in this podunk town, 800 people in a village, really. Well, like, what should I ask? Like, what kinds of? Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll look into it from here while you're doing it, and I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. But I think they would have even put it as history. Let me look at another way for it. I think that was actually south of Pueblo, though, and you're north of Pueblo?
No, I'm south. I'm north
south of it. How close are you to Trinidad? You're north of Trinidad. You're right in the region. You are right in the region. Let me research another way.
Yeah, be careful with those dating apps.
So how are you liking it down there? Now that's more like deserty, isn't it?
It's
Desert
very
mountains?
yeah. It's very sparse. It's very arid. It's very beautiful. I mean, there are so many areas with aspen trees when they were turning. I got here right at the the end of the season for just the brightness of the gold of the aspens. And I got some just some beautiful photography with them. I'm at the I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly. Huerfano, which I think means orphan. The Huerfano County is where I'm at, and there are 2 mountain peaks right here. They're called the Spanish Peaks, but that's like the lazy white boy way of saying the breasts of the earth, which is Huahoya, I believe, means breasts of the earth. Because if you look at them from a particular place, thinking about pareidolia, yeah, they're the hoo-has.
I love it.
But anyway, look, I haven't been able to exercise my right to fish, but there's 2 little lakes right near me. Wait
a minute. Your right to fish?
Yeah, man.
You can go get a license and fish.
What the fuck? I don't need to ask your permission. Oh, may I?
Hey, I'm not saying me. I'm just saying, believe me, I was out there in BFE out in the West, and I came across game wardens, and they checked to see if I had any fishing or hunting stuff. They came up and
I mean, I looked up the regulations, and the technicality that I'm hung up on is right now the word take. So catch and release, which is what I would do. I've got my rod, I got my reel, I got my spinners, I got my, whatever I'm going to do. But if I'm just catching and releasing, I'm not taking anything, gentlemen. Leave me the F alone.
Yeah, but you still could hurt, kill, and this and that, and yada, yada, yada. No, I agree with you. If you're practicing catch and release, as long as you're not taking it. Actually, I don't even agree with having to have a license to go fishing. Now, I could see them saying that there's a limit to how many fish you can take out at a time, Like, you can't go and catch 500 bluegills out of a pond and just kill the pond. No, we're not going to let you do that.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But if you can go and catch, enough for a family to eat or this or that.
Yeah, but isn't there
whatnot.
that, right, isn't that there is that the escape clause? Like, let's say I was homeless and I was fishing for my sustenance. There's like an escape clause where you're fishing to survive.
You would still only need a certain amount. It's not like you would need 60 fish for one day.
Oh, right, but that's right. What do I need to survive? You right? Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, look, it's all about sensibilities, But even then, guys, I mean, look, who are you to come along and say you can't catch more than 20 fish? Like, is this your pond?
The guy with the gun, the guy with more force than you.
That's fucking it, man.
There you go.
Might make right. Yeah, that's
all you got to do, Travis, is whip out your right to fish and show it to him. Be like, look what I got.
Get back in your vehicle.
I gotta whip out my Neil
here.
deGrasse Tyson.
I can tell you as a Colorado girl, Travis, because I did grow up there and spend like almost my entire life there. They, when fishing and that, they do check licenses, and that's an ongoing. And they watch it. I can also clean up that it wasn't Levada; it was Trinidad that this doctor was in, and I did find him up there. I can talk to you about him a little bit if you want. But Dr. Stanley Biber, at one time the leading surgeon in the U.S. for gender-affirming surgery and one of the few doctors in the entire world who worked with transgender patients. His office in Trinidad, Colorado, a small town just 13 miles north of New Mexico, changed thousands of lives between 1969 and 2010.
I bet he did.
Trinidad also, to me, I learned that quite recently. But Trinidad, what it always meant to me traveling through that part of the world is I think people have voted on it. There's a rest area right south of Trinidad by the border, and it is to be voted the most disgusting, outright gross rest area, overflowing outhouses that are like sleeping out the doors that like have never had attendance. But I think it was voted like the very worst rest area in the entire country, if not the world. Where you have your truck stops and they normally have nice bathrooms and things to shop and sandwiches. And that particular rest area has the grounds. The grounds are. I wouldn't fish even by Levada if it's within 100 miles of it. But yeah. Are you liking it there, Travis? That's a weird place to wind up in Colorado, Levada. Though it sounds like a fun grocer. I mean,
It sounds like a what?
Fun grocer, and maybe a grocery job 2 blocks away, or it sounds like you landed up there. But how did you wind up in Levada, Colorado?
That's a great question, Cami. So I was in Maryland doing Uber for the past 2 years, and I began to notice something for myself experientially, that my volume started to drop off, and it made no sense. I'm in Baltimore, sitting around for over an hour with no ride offers through Uber or Lyft at the same time. And to me, that was just incredible, unbelievable. And so my income began to drop off, and I began to get tight around the belt, So I thought, well, look, my mom's out in California, and she's back in her house, and she's starting to renovate. I'll go out and hang out with her for a little bit and see what California's like. Well, when I got out to California, Uber misled me into thinking that I could get out there and just simply transfer my background check. Well, when I got out there, it wasn't just the background check. I had to actually relocate everything, which would have, dipped into my savings, and I wasn't willing to do that. So then I just did Uber Eats and DoorDash. But even then, that was just, just scraping from the bottom of the barrel. So on my way out to California, however, I stopped by a friend's house here in Levada, hung out with her, and then I came out I came out to California, and then found out California was what it was. Came back to her and said, "Hey, look, this is the situation." And she's like, "Hey, come out to Levada and see what goes on." So I came out here and just started hobnobbing with everybody. I came out right at Oktoberfest, and it was just loving it. Just a beautiful home, just a beautiful small town. Absolutely,
it is small. It is.
It
really
is a
small.
Yeah, but listen, we there are probably, I'll say, a handful, which means maybe less than 10-ish of like boutiques. And by boutiques, I mean like shishi la la high-end boutiques, which means they make all of their money in the tourist season between spring and autumn.
Because they sit at the base of the Spanish Peaks in the Highways Legends National Scenic Byway.
Yeah.
Town population was 862.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a beautiful, absolutely just beautiful for me. Like, it depends on, like, I didn't grow up here, so I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. Like, I didn't grow up here, so I don't have that mentality. So to me, this is like amazing. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I haven't even discovered what's here. My friend here is her name's Carrie, and so she had a casita, a little house in the back of her property, which is kind of like a mother-in-law suite, if you will, but it's a very rustic mother-in-law suite. And so she's letting me camp out here, and I just went around beating the bush. I did not want to go back into trucking. And, the nearest trucking that I can get is Trinidad or Puebla, which is over an hour's drive, which is not ideal. And finally, yesterday, I touched back with Charlie's Grocers, and she's like, you know what? Somebody has been calling out more often than I want to like mother him to not call out on. And so you've got the job if you can be here. So I started working yesterday, and it's been an enjoyable experience overall. I would love to just be a grocer, be a butcher. Excuse me on my vegan associates, but it is what it is. So
I think it's really, really cool, Travis. That is, it's. I know Trinidad's not that pretty, but I'm looking at this little town, and it's a little. What it is a tiny town between Puebla, which is ugly as sin, and Trinidad, this ugly stretch of I-25, but directly to the west of it is the beautiful, beautiful mountains. And that is an entryway, a gateway into some of the prettiest areas in the mountains. So you're just right on edge of it. You'll get a lot of tourists going, especially through the summer and that. So
yeah. Well, I'm really looking forward to just getting my 40 hours and being able to sustain myself that way. So yeah, it's just been really ideal, and I can sustain myself by being what I'm going to start being at Charlie's Grocers. Like, yeah, this is just beautiful. So,
well, congratulations.
Thanks, Cami.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to settle down and get a little consistency and repetition under your belt. Right? That'll be good.
Yeah, and then when spring comes around, if I need to branch out, I've made enough associates around here where there's, here in Levada, there is a, I don't know what it's not Well, I guess in this area, it would be a high-end hotel restaurant. I went in and sat down at the bar and bellied up and ordered their specialty and started talking to the bartender. Lo and behold, he's the owner. And so I throw at him, I've been a server, and if you need any help or whatever, he's like, yeah, well, you just came right at the end of the season.
Is resort the word you're looking for?
It's not a resort, no.
Is it something does it trade on, like when you have vacation things, does it trade as like one of those places? Because that might be right on the gateway there.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean. What do you mean by, tell me what you mean.
Is it something that if you had a vacation timeshare, is it somewhere that you would go with the timeshare on the hotel or no? Because you said it was a upscale hotel with a restaurant in it, and to me that almost sounds like something a timeshare. Is it smaller than that? I
don't know if they do I don't know if they do timeshares. They've got a sign out that says vacancy. Today I saw it when I was walking the dogs. The sign said vacant, vacancy available. So they've got rooms, and the restaurant itself is very, very posh. And so the owner grew up in La Veda. He tried to escape La Veda, went out into the restaurant business, made his name there, came back to La Veda, bought a hotel, converted the first ground into a restaurant, and is making his way that way. And I've got experience as a server. I love customer service. I love serving. I absolutely love just being a waiter. I don't know what it is, whatever. I love that interaction with the customers. But there's plenty of little opportunities during the season to sustain myself. So as soon as if I can make it through the winter working at Charlie's and then get into the season, I'll be good. I'll be absolutely just golden.
Yeah, I was going to say, when it comes
Sounds
to
like a plan.
Thing that you're not used to the whole being on your feet all day, got two easy options for relief there. Go get yourself a golf ball, and while you're sitting down just watching TV, just roll that golf ball under your foot. Or spend some money and go get one of those, you've seen those massage guns? You get one of those and just do that on the underneath of your foot.
Like what? Cross your leg and just aim the gun?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the golf ball's the easiest way. Just put a golf ball under your foot while you're watching TV or whatever, and
all
just
those pressure
roll
points
it underneath. Oh, you'll
that's gold.
You'll be loving it afterwards. You'll be instant relief on your feet.
Okay. Just now I got to go find a place where I can find golf balls.
And then after, if you get too used to that and that's not causing any pain in your feet anymore, then stand up and put your body weight down on it.
Whew. I hear you. I do have a pressure mat that's kind of like the old, when I was a kid, I never got the whole Hindu lying on a bed of nails. But I did buy a pressure mat where, you lie down on your back, so it's your lower back all the way up to the lower neck, lower cranium. And I use that whenever I'm disciplined enough to use it to wake up in the morning for about 15 minutes or so, which, by the way,
Is it purple with white spiky things all over it?
No, mine's black.
That's the one I have.
Things.
It's
mine's
like
black.
the nails.
But I'll tell you what I use to measure the time that I spend on that mat is solfeggio.
Nice.
Because each song is 7 minutes, and if you do 2 songs, it's 14 minutes, and I hang out for a little bit longer either way, and I get my 15 minutes in, and I stimulate my body, and, it's a beautiful thing.
I drive Michelle
Shout out to Alex Michael.
Getting shower mats with massaging bumpy hard things under them, or wanting some kind of mat in the room that I can walk across is going to have I love acupressure on my feet, especially working on them. I've done it in all kind of ways. Waiter, as a dealer for 8 years at the casino, just on your feet.
Oh man, I would love to hear your most exciting, just bizarre, exciting stories. Come on, Walt.
I dealt to Debo. from Friday.
Mhm.
Yep, he came into our casino and I dealt to him. I can't remember the actor's
I have to be
name.
honest. Like that's like not even impressive to me, only because I have no idea who the Smurf you're talking.
You do.
He's
You
the
never
guy
saw
from
Fridays?
Hulk Hogan that fought.
Come on, you expect me to watch that stuff? I don't watch what you're talking about. I don't look. I don't
Dude,
know.
we
what
were
you're talking
children when this came out. It was Hulk Hogan in a movie with the big black guy that had the eye that was like off looking that way.
I know that now that you said that, and I just watched your eye go that way. Yeah.
And he was
okay, I got
hilarious, dude. He cut up with everybody at the table. He had a blast. You know, he wasn't like this big, scary, intimidating dude. I mean, that's the characters he's usually playing. But yeah, he was a blast. He was cool as fuck. I mean, now I could tell you some like crazy nuts people spending stupid money, and you know, but I mean, that
Okay,
don't
so like
impress me.
Walt, like if you walked into a casino and sat down at a table, would you be able to run the table?
I would know to get up at the right time and leave with my money.
I
And I would
consider
know
that
where to
running the
sit,
table. Okay.
and I would know how to watch the cards. I don't count
Okay.
cards because that's not legal. But
How could you stop yourself?
Well, it's
from
not
doing something?
illegal. It's just frowned upon.
I was just watching a video before I came in to set up the show about a guy who's like, you can't even really count cards anymore because your dealer, he counts cards. The pit boss, they count cards. All the security guys, they fucking count cards. So the minute they see you raise your bet and they think you're counting cards, reshuffle. And reshuffle.
Yeah, foot tap. See, and it's hard to even get single deck. $100 single deck, that was like where all those guys would come. That was the table they had me on. And dude, yeah.
Okay, but what
It was pretty
table
nuts.
is that though? Is that what 21?
Single deck, blackjack. Yeah, single deck is
okay.
like, that's where the counting is like, you know, I mean,
'Cause you can't
got
count
one deck.
cards
You're
in,
dealing with one
Texas,
fucking
can
deck,
you?
not two, not three. I don't know. I've never dealt. I mean, I've
Yeah.
never been anywhere except in Oregon. I went to the casinos there. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not like once you're on that side of the table, you know better. You know better than to go in. The only reason I would ever go to the casino would be if it had a good restaurant or they got some great karaoke.
When I was in Las
If they had a
Vegas,
good bar. If they had a good happy hour, that's the casino I go to.
the airport in Las Vegas has one-armed bandits. That's the closest I've ever come to gambling in a casino. I played when I was 18 on my way to boot camp. I played the one-armed bandit, and that's the closest I've been to gambling in a casino.
The one time I won any significant, I don't know, actually the couple of times I won significant amounts of money was either at our casino, you can only come there when it was your birthday, one time a year. And they gave you a certain little amount to run with on the table. And then the rest was whatever you wanted to do.
So how did you get into that club?
That was the casino I worked at. You just had to.
So you had to work there. You had to be an employee.
Yeah. No, anybody could go there, but if you worked there, you couldn't gamble there. The only way you could gamble there was on your birthday that one night. And they also set you up at the steakhouse with a big free meal, which was like the top end, you know, $150 steaks and all that crap. You take a sip of water and the guy's there pouring it instantly. Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy, Mr. Lester's. But anyway, the guy kept saying, "That's the machine, Walt." I'm like, man, I'm going to play blackjack. I'm not doing a machine. Fucking machine. He's like, I'm telling you. Go put your money in that machine. So I did, and I had like $1,500 on it. I'm like, oh, well, thanks, brother. Tipped him nice, you know.
Yeah,
and then
nice.
one time
Good
with
for you.
Paul
Good for
on the
you.
machine, I did really lucky and hit something crazy there with them. But other than that, blackjack, I always.
Now, how did he know to give
If
you
the
that
table's
nod?
good, it's full, and you're not getting on it. And if the table's not full, it means the dealer's hot. Nobody wants to be there. So in a busy casino, it's usually hard to get a good table. And it's really hard to do it head to head by yourself. You know, that stage. Like once they start dumping, people start coming in and fucking it up. And so, yeah.
I am absolutely not smart enough to sit down. Like I was in Vegas on the way out here to Levada, right? I went out to Vegas to meet up with a friend. His name's Jeff. He's an awesome guy. And that night I stayed at the Golden Nugget and walked around that little circle there. And I was so fucking intimidated to sit down anywhere. I didn't do anything but just walk around and go, I don't know what the fuck these people are doing. Like, what? I couldn't even wrap my mind around it. It was just like mind-boggling.
We were literally the first team or whatever you want to call it out on the floor there. That place it's over here on the Chittimacha Reservation. So there used to be a bingo. It was a bingo hall. And so they decided to go with live gaming. They brought in all these people from Vegas. We took a school for about 6 months, learning how to do it, which taught me that, the best game in the house is craps. If you really want to make money, the best odds in the casino are craps. If you want to play and have fun. The gambler, the customer's in control by that game, not the dealer. They have the dice, they have the bet, they bet when, that's why I never like dealing. Anyway, but over that time period that place was there, I watched it destroy everybody I knew that worked there. Like either divorced, I was divorced, breakups, fights, getting fired because you're doing stupid shit in the cigar room you shouldn't do on your birthday there. Anyway, it was.
Can I interrupt real quick and talk about that for just a minute? Because right here in Missouri, they're getting ready to vote to amend the Missouri Constitution to allow more sports betting is what it is. There's sports betting, and then there's also casinos down at the Lake of the Ozarks. It requires the whole state to vote on whether or not they get their casino or not. Just like, then there's the Amendment 3, which is basically abortion for full whatever. And then it starts to getting into like aftercare and gender affirming stuff. Like it's written so broadly that it's just really goofy. And it just reminds me of Las Vegas. Yeah, Sin City, right? We're just allowing all of this sin in here like it's nothing.
Okay, I don't want to take away from what you're saying. I want to try to embellish it and develop it. So if we look at the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, where, as far as I understand it, and correct me if I'm incorrect, the Congress has no right to create a bill that will turn into a law that will infringe anyone's rights. Correct? So, I'll take that dramatic pause as a correct, just for the moment, right?
Well,
so
I'm trying how to phrase. So
hold on,
John Locke and
hold on. Give me hold on.
Enlightenment.
So, as far as I know, the Bill of Rights says that Congress has no right to pass a law that infringes the rights that are inherent to a human being.
Yeah, but they already have.
Oh, no. I get that. Don't go there yet. Don't go there yet. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
Okay.
You have the Constitution.
So
you have the Constitution that establishes that life, liberty, pursuit of Congress has no right to create a law that infringes any of those things that proceed heretofore. So that everything after this thing called the Constitution and the Bill of Rights as an amendment is complete bullshit. Because an amendment could possibly be created to infringe somebody's rights on some level.
It did. And then you've got to create an amendment to change it back. That was the whole problem with the prohibition.
Exactly.
That's the prohibition issues. Yeah.
Yeah. So then here I am, everybody. I'm sorry, but I'm the guy. I asked the question, when did the last fucking constitutionalist die?
Jeez, I don't know. When was
You know
that?
what I mean? Like
Andrew Jackson?
The last guy to say, look, you guys can't make this law. You cannot make whatever XYZ law you're trying to go for because it goes against the inherent rights of every human being.
But so what?
We're sorry.
To be fair, we're sorry.
I mean,
no, we're gonna have to add. We're gonna have to add now to the to be sorry. To be fair,
to be fair, we only did it for your protection.
For your
We
security.
did it for you, for your own security.
without my consent, I didn't ask you to do that.
so Travis, are you
To be
saying?
fair-
I don't care about your consent.
Travis, are you saying that you yourself have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness?
Say that again.
Are you saying that you yourself have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness?
Insofar as I'm concerned with my existential self, yes.
Unfortunately, you can only have those things if we, the government, say you can.
Of course, that's the great default. Fuck your right to write. I mean, if that's the way you're going to go, then just fucking do that. Like, just fucking just fucking be the tyrannical government that you are. Without giving us the right to vote, without giving us this old facade.
That's the great experiment. That's what America is. We have all these freedoms, all these rights that we were given. Oh, no. These are rights that God gave us. These are rights we were born with. So I'm
sorry, guys. I got to take off.
Come on, Paul. Belly up to the table, man.
I've got a low tide about to happen at 12. So I've got to,
Watch the
take
bulge.
off filming.
Yeah, watch that bulge, bro.
Yeah,
bulge, man.
Looking for the bulge. Don't worry.
Don't say that.
Hey, Travis, if you can find
thank you,
that
man.
video of you chatting with Sly about that Red's rhetoric.
I don't. We didn't chat. We didn't chat live, so I'm not sure what you think you saw. It was only in the comments section.
Ah, bugger.
Yeah, it was never live. It was never live.
Spewing. But anyway, I'm going to soundbite you in my Sly Can't Inferior Mirage video. Because that's a classic, that you saying that they didn't even realize there was an inferior Mirage on that day.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude. When I watched that video, like in the first couple of seconds, I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Instantly.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's straight away. It's the same as with everything. Like I'm constantly getting people on Twitter, or the classic Twitter globe trolls, posting something to me going, "Why is this disappearing?" And I'm like, "Oh, you mean that thing in an inferior Mirage? There's no inferior Mirage here." So I got to go in, do a screenshot, show where.
Yeah,
the
but like, look,
Mirage
either
is.
they're trolling or they're so ignorant that you're wasting your time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're chasing the tail of a troll who either is completely ignorant or he's absolutely lying. And either way, you and I are wasting our time trying to like prove our point.
Yeah, that's why I'm just going to make a video making fun of them.
All right. Well, whatever, get your rocks off.
You know, sometimes we just have to make fun of people because they're stupid.
I agree completely.
I know public shaming goes a long way.
And then they can poke fun back at me.
Put them in the stocks, Paul. Put them in the stocks.
Anyway, thanks heaps, guys. I got to take off.
And thanks for hanging out. Come back anytime. As you say, anytime.
Thanks,
Come
Paul.
back.
Love it when you
Thank
join.
brother.
Awesome. Much love to all. Thank you. See you.
Yeah, you got to. How long has Paul been at it now, making videos and stuff?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he really contacted me, I guess, within the past year and a half or so. So I was maybe say 2 years, if I want to round it out a little bit farther than that. And when he contacted me, he was like, "Bro, I've been able to go out for the past, every day for the past year." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." So he's got, like he said last week, he's got so many terabytes of content that it's absolutely just maddening, sickening, just mind-numbingly how much content. Look, when you have people like Andrew Thomas Young, you know, when I came into this and Rumpus, you guys know Rumpus?
Yeah, I've never spoken to him.
I've heard the name. But
I've been toe to toe with him enough times, but I never knew anything about. I would have never known anything about Andrew Thomas Young without Rumpus just shouting out his God's name. So I went looking into Andrew Thomas Young and reading the stuff that he published, and all he could ever do was produce diagrams of just images that he created. Nothing natural. So I would take, okay, look, he's talking about this, he's talking about this, I've got this image, I've got this image. Like, I could match up every image that he would then just make into a diagram of just BS 2D images. I'm like, why aren't you publishing anything natural, bro?
Can't.
They can't, because it would prove too much, in my opinion. If he published anything natural to anyone who was a thinking person, they would be able to think past his facade. So I think you're right, Zack. The reason why he chose the diagrams was because that's the controlling narrative. He could control what you think by the diagram that he drew, and then you would have like my question to Andrew Thomas Young was, okay, this diagram A, point B, point C, point D, whatever, like, you know, whatever evidence you want to bring up, can you show me that in real life? What are you talking about when I look out on the horizon? And he can't do it. I mean, look, I don't know if that's just the easy way out or whatever, but I just, whenever I saw that he couldn't do it, I just took it as a tick mark on our side. So, I mean, I appreciate what Paul's been doing. It's absolutely, you know, right. When he said that, you know, the creator gives him these little, what I call kisses, you know, I had my real first kiss from what I call the Ether Band back in 22. I was supposed to be able to go to the Flat Earth Conference, or the, you know, Flattoberfest. Work gave me the okay. I was supposed to go the day of, bro. The day of, when I was finishing my last shift, they're like, we need you to work this weekend. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Are you serious? And that very night, it was a Friday night, I went out on the Chesapeake Bay and I just made love to creation. I filmed things that I had never seen before that were absolutely confirmations of everything that I had just seen and processed and thought about. And it was just like, here it is, bro. Everything you think is real, I'm going to show it to you. And I was just like, oh my God. I mean, I had tears in my eyes. I had visceral, bodily contractions of just amazement, incredulity that I was seeing what I was seeing. And what was amazinger about that, and I did say that word, amazinger. What was amazinger about that was when I went back that weekend and did three-hour live streams, I had a friend of mine who watched them, because the thing that I was worried about was, how can I, you know what I mean? Like, the joke is, oh, you had to be there, right? You tell a joke and it falls flat. And so your out is, I guess you had to be there. But my friend, Michael Loomis, was watching, and he was absolutely just confirming. He was like, wow, what you're showing me is right now, what you're showing me right now is absolutely amazing. And so then, to me, that was just the confirmation that I was actually seeing something that was significant. So I've had creation just blow me a kiss. It's just absolutely just extremely existential. It was so beautiful.
I think a lot of that's intent. Like when you are in that flow state of looking to find out about this fucking realm, it starts presenting those kisses. I like that phrase. I mean, dude, I had a tab for making videos, trying to figure out what the sun was doing and how far we could see. And then I finally got Michelle's camera, and then I got the telescope. I just stepped it up a little bit at a time. And every time I would step it up a little more, I'd see more shit. I can still remember sitting there with the binoculars watching the sun just go away into this weird amorphous blob thing. I think David finally captured it pretty good off the coast there. David Weiss did. That same blobby, weird going away thing. Never dropped below an ether band, never went below a line. It just went away. And those kind of things just kept popping into the camera. I mean, and it was a shitty camera. It wasn't even good stuff. And it just felt like that. Like, okay, I'm looking and it's being shown to me. That's really how it felt.
Yeah. And I don't know what else to say, but it's just existential. It just gives meaning to existence.
I like that. Gives meaning to existence.
Big shout out to Thunder Chicken in chat.
Much love, Thunder.
Big love to live. Absolutely.
I had
hope harvest went well and all that good stuff.
I can confirm that there was a positive touchdown on my end as of 2 days ago, yesterday, something like that. Much appreciated. Quite the little grab bag of tricks.
If you can read between the lines, you know what he's talking about.
It's all quite tasty.
Yeah. And that's the one thing where I'm at right now in La Veda is I really wanted to get out of trucking because of the DOT regulations. I have a gift package that I received in the mail, and I can't take part until I have an established income that's going to be able to sustain me where I don't have to worry about the DOT. So I am just holding on. But when that happens, man, it's going to be a party.
Travis gonna party.
Oh, man. Zach, look, one of my first amazing experiences with you and Chris in Denver. Oh, my God, dude. That was so wild. That was so out of my mind. And it was Cami. It was Cami. She and I were standing outside and she was sharing with me, and I was just like sharing half of what she had. And I walked into what you and Chris were talking about, and I was like out of my smurfing mind. It's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was good times. That was the first time I had met really anybody, was going to Phoenix there. Well, I had met Walt and Josh, but I had never been to like a festival yet. Denver was my first one. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Although I felt like shit the whole weekend. Yeah, wasn't that when him and Rob had their debate?
Yeah, I was standing right next to Sungenis, elbow to elbow, just having a conversation with him. It was pretty incredible. It was enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time there. Dallas was a lot of fun too.
Say that again, Walt.
Wondering what he's up to, Sungenis.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything really since then. Oh, shit!
Sorry, my bad.
I totally missed the new moon tonight. Poop on a stick.
Don't worry, it wasn't there, Trav.
What do you mean?
Like, you weren't going to see it.
Okay.
Oh, you mean new moon as in like today there was supposed to be the sliver?
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
Man.
You know how pissed she's going to be? Oh, she's pissed now. Neglected. You've neglected old Luna.
I know, my queen. I'm sorry, my queen. Please forgive me. Well, I
Travis, that's what I thought. I thought I was losing it a minute, but you didn't miss anything right now. You're at new moon illumination 0%. You're not missing a thing. There's nothing to see.
Yeah, that's what the controlled narrative wants you to think. I'll take that. Look, Cami.
Okay.
Okay, look, you could be right. You could be right. So tomorrow, I have to remember. So I'm working tomorrow until 5 o'clock. So then I have to remember tomorrow what I forgot tonight, which is to set up. Because when I got here a month ago, I was able to catch the new moon of this last month. So I had all of that tracked until tonight. Yeah.
Okay, now tomorrow you're at a 1% still.
Well, look.
So if you get it tomorrow, you're amazing. That right there is still very, very.
I know. Listen,
it should not be visible.
Thing. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But in terms of what I've been trying to track, this is the way I've broken it down, everyone. So, in my opinion, when you look up, if you were to look up, what are the phases of the moon, and you ask Google, and Google tells you that there are 28 days. 28 days. That's the visible phases. So then the question becomes, okay, so what are the alternates? The alternate is there's only one, the invisible. Every phase of the moon, every phase of the moon has an equal and opposite phase. So let's say, for instance, I was wrong about tonight. Tonight was not supposed to be the new moon. Tomorrow night is going to be the new moon. So that means on the western horizon, after twilight, Solaris the king has departed. His train of glory has removed itself so far so that his queen, Luna, that you can't see in the entire daytime sky. No moon, no moon, no moon, no moon. And then twilight. And then just the right amount of twilight, she just shows up out of nowhere, right on the horizon. Right? So that's day one of the new moon.
So is there video of the moon being 0 going into 1%?
That
like
is a
that
great
phenomena
question.
happening?
That's a great question,
not.
Zach.
There's not. We looked heavily.
Right,
Chris
right.
Van Maitre did that. It's like he was really good getting it shy of 3 days in.
Why would they? Like, who would want that?
Mm-hmm.
Lame.
I mean, couldn't we just follow it with a plane?
You could, right? And that's what they do mathematically, right? So then that's where you get the 2.7%. Like no one can see that with their naked eye. Like just the other night, 2 mornings ago, was when I caught the last waning moon, and I filmed it as long as I could on the P900, and I had the setting set to was it the moon setting? It was the moon setting. If I set it to the natural setting, you couldn't see the moon. Switch it to the moon setting, and there she is. You can see it. So the filter there within the P900 allows you to see Luna.
Do you have a solar filter on this? Because if you're getting a new moon, you're photographing right at then where are you pointing it at the sky that you think you're seeing her? Because she should be in the same portion of the sky with Sola. If you have Luna and Sola, Luna's hanging with Sol then.
Okay, so 2 nights ago, or I'm sorry, 2 mornings ago. This is in the morning. Where I am, I've got a little bit of tree cover, so I can't see through the trees. And I was looking and looking and looking. I already drove around La Veta. I drove around La Veta to find an opening where I could see Luna. Couldn't see her. Came back to my little casita, had my camera ready, and all of a sudden I could see her. Okay, so there's no Solaris. Solaris is still beyond the horizon, but Luna is there, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous pictures. And so then in the twilight, right, you can see her. And then as the morning progressed, I tracked her, and then lost her. So in my scheme of things, it's the polarity of light. She's in a field wherein the light of Solaris catches up to her so much so that it overwhelms her light and cloaks it. So I have that 2 days ago. I've got that on film where I lost sight of her. Naturally, with your naked eye, couldn't see her. Switched to simply with the camera, the P900, you switch to the moon setting, and then there she is. So 2 nights ago, you have the last vestiges of the waning crescent. Okay, that's at the beginning of the day. Within an hour of seeing her in the twilight, she's gone, except for the fact that she's in the sky for the remainder of the day. That's day 1. The next day, which was yesterday, you couldn't see her at all because, again, she's too close to her king. And then today, she would be behind the king.
And then they say under the bands of the king or the solar, yeah.
Don't forget about the glory trains.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shout out glory train.
Okay, so then what I should have remembered tonight as I got off work, I should have remembered that I'm like, oh yeah, you've got to go out and catch Solar or go out and catch Luna. I forgot, totally forgot. Anyway, so if it was tonight, that would have been 3 days. 2 days ago was day 1. Yesterday was day 2. Today was day 3. We have 3 days and 2 nights where the moon is not visible for that amount of time. And then she shows up right at the end of today, which would have been at twilight in the evening. So tomorrow I can catch her, absolutely. But if I'm correct, I'll be a day late. So I'll be on day 2 of the new moon, which is, this is November 1st. Well, I guess it would have been lined up right. So this calendar month, today would have been the correct day. It would have matched up nicely with the new moon.
Have you ever looked at the analemma of the moon?
I haven't been able to be disciplined enough to do that, but I know what you're talking about.
It's not constant like the sun's is. It actually spins in the sky like this also, instead of just doing the figure 8. It kind of does the figure 8, but also rotates like this.
Yeah, look, man.
Well,
look,
according to... Here, I'll show you.
Yeah. All that's making me, just more and more disappointed that I don't have that free time to be able to do that.
And it's not easy to do either.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's freaking not easy.
48, 49 minutes off. So
Yep. 48, 49 minutes. Yep.
I think this is the one that maybe keeps going.
What's that X mean?
That it was an X with a cloud and rain. It was a rainy day.
Oh,
so he couldn't take a picture.
Okay, props there. Okay.
And then week of the new moon as it's going through there.
Huh. Okay, so look. So this is my breakdown since I've been trying to do this since last December. As best I can in the eastern
Watch this,
coast.
Ready? Each month the curve is different.
Well, like what's doing that?
Wow.
Like what?
I never saw this.
What orbital mechanics? What orbital mechanics is this?
It's almost like it's switching ends. Like the skinny end is down here, and then it becomes the fat end, and the skinny end moves up here.
Wow.
It does this throughout the year, allegedly. Like I said.
Right. Yeah. Instead of to be fair, we need to now have allegedly.
Allegedly. But yeah, that one was always pretty interesting to me.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I mean, look, in Maryland, I just had so many inconsistent days. I lost the motivation to try to keep up because I was like, I can't even see it today. I can't even see it today. Can't even see it today. Yeah. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Well, yeah, that's why I only did the sun for like that 8 months, because then I hit December and around Lake Michigan, you don't see the sun all day, like for months at a time.
Well, I mean, I've even noticed within the month that I've been here in Levada, I've noticed that, right now, it's not even getting daylight until after 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
And just a couple of weeks ago, it was daylight at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I don't mean the sun was up. I mean daylight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely in the wintertime, it starts getting way more drastic. Like when the sun goes away, it gets dark.
Yeah.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, up there where I was, on the solstice, the sun was it would reach 27 degrees up in the sky. That was its highest point. And it was under 8 hours, I'm pretty sure, of daylight. It would like rise at 8:45 and set at like 4:20 or something like that.
Of course, 4:20. Thanks, Zach. By the way, did you know that's the square root of the equation of the word vans?
Really?
So if you look at the word vans, if you look at the icon, it's the square root symbol over the word ANS. So the square root of ANS is 420. Numerically.
What is, ANS? Okay.
Yeah. So it's not vans, it's the square root of ANS. Isn't that wild?
Yeah. I can see it, and it just never dawned on me.
Yeah, I had to have it spelled out to me, otherwise I would never have known.
I've been wanting to play with the Rubens tube lately. I've had the urge.
You're so nasty.
Big old grin on Josh's face.
You said it.
Yeah, but you thought it. They all knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, we all knew what you were talking about. You play with the Pee-wee's pipe.
Oh, that's funny.
That's what I appreciate about you.
Yeah, but where I'm at right now is not conducive to a lot of the work that I've been doing with the Chesapeake Bay and the Pacific Ocean with the Anacapa Islands. So I'm just kind of looking at the sky right now and seeing what happens. So,
have you played with any of the macro settings on those cameras?
What do you mean by that?
Taking pictures of really small things in really fine detail.
That is so difficult. No.
With those cameras, they made it so easy, dude.
Really?
It really is. The macro setting, that's all you do. You flip it to that macro setting and you can zoom in on it and everything.
Okay, hold on now. So I know the dial. I've got my camera right here. So there's, the regular setting, and then there's scene. So when you talk about the macro, do you know where that setting is at?
Gosh, it's been so long.
I'm not trying to test you. I'm just trying to find out.
Now, what are you playing with? The P900?
Yeah, just the 900.
Let's see, I got a book for that camera. It tells you everything about it. Let's see.
I actually have a book. I can't remember if it's right here in my backpack. Hold on, I'll go get it.
Okay,
so this is for the Nikon P610, but it's the same as the Nikon P900. It's just smaller, but it's got all the same bells and whistles.
Oh, you bait and switch, mother.
Let's see, macro. It's been so long since I've even played with my camera.
It's got a symbol, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I just don't remember what it is.
It's part of the zoom thingies.
Yep, right there with the zoom thingy.
Yeah, zoom memory and startup zoom position.
Okay, okay, I just got back. So look, I've got my camera on. Where do I go?
Give me a second. Zoom lever, function flash. Date actions menu. No, I don't want motion pictures. Yeah, where is this? Autofocus, primary, no. It's a big book. It covers like everything.
I've got Photographer's Guide to the Nikon, if you're in the UK. Coolpix 900. That's what.
Yeah, so you got the exact same book I do, but mine's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there not an index in the back? Am I confusing things?
Yeah, okay. I was looking at the front. Macro photography, 150 to 153. Okay.
Okay, I've got macro photography 151 to 154. That's what I've got.
Okay.
Well, all right, so we don't have to bore everybody. I'll check that out on my own. Okay.
Macro autofocus in auto mode or in the program aperture priority, shutter priority, or manual exposure mode. Okay, yeah, you'll check that out when you get.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, dude, that changed my life. It really did. Going around and taking pictures of even things like just anthills.
Right. Okay.
But all the bugs, I have a picture of a snail where I can see the blue in his eye around his pupil.
God. Dude, yeah. I was in Havre de Grace, where I lived back a couple years ago, and I went out on a particular day when vendors were setting up their sections of wherever people were going to be coming through. Oh my God. And I was like hundreds of feet away from this sign that I could not see with my naked eye. And I zoomed in on it. And as I zoomed in on it finally, and it's on my channel, as I zoomed in on it finally, something that looked like a fucking aphid crawled across, I don't know, some leaf in my field of view, and I could see the aphid, and I was like, what am I seeing right now? Like, this is bizarre. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible what these machines can do.
Oh yeah, I have pictures of ants where I can see the hair. They have hair on their, like, the big ball at their back end.
Yeah.
Some ants have hair that come off their sides and stuff, and like the hair on a butterfly's face.
Wow.
Just all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, it just totally made me respect all these small little creatures so much more. It makes it a lot more intimate seeing them that way.
Yeah, I bet.
It doesn't turn them in just to this little crawling thing. It's like gives it a soul almost. To your perspective now.
Yeah.
Interesting. As opposed to stealing
it.
What? Did I miss that inside joke?
Camera stealing your soul. Wasn't it Native Americans who believe that? Allegedly.
Okay. I gotcha. Okay, yeah.
I'm wondering what the reasoning behind it would be.
Which part?
The stealing of the soul.
So, is it the first picture that's taken steals your soul, and then every picture after that, it doesn't matter? Or does it break it?
I think it's a little bit at a time.
A little bit at a time. So each picture, you get a little bit more of your soul taken.
Like eating an elephant. You gotta do it one bite at a time.
Eat a lot of elephants, do you?
I wouldn't say a lot.
Yeah, those are amazing beings. Those elephants. Dude, now when I see stuff, I question, I seem to be questioning more and more and more as I get older. Even after Flat Earth, I've learned to even question more. Like when I learn things about animals that, humans have been studying forever. And I see these videos or, National Geographic, or even if it's just somebody on YouTube, I question everything it tells me now. Oh, elephants live this long out in the wild. Yeah, I don't believe you. I don't think you know. I just don't have any faith in any of that stuff anymore. That's why I'm always saying allegedly.
Allegedly?
Or I heard this here, or I heard that there. Don't quote me on that.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
well,
I'm not even saying the people that are making the videos are lying. This could be just what they've heard and what they've been told by other people that they don't know,
Which is all alleged. It's all secondhand information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can't say for sure. So we can't say for sure that the ginger fucked an ostrich.
That the who?
The what?
The where?
The how?
Exactly.
Who fucked an ostrich?
The why?
Well,
why? That's my
Did
question.
you say the
Why?
ginger?
The ginger.
You said the ginger.
Cocaine.
Allegedly.
Wait, what?
That's why he did it. He hit that pink cocaine.
But you got to figure, take more than one person to fuck an ostrich.
Allegedly.
Fastest bipedal animal on Earth.
And that's, of course, it was a sick ostrich.
Yeah, then it'd be pretty slow. I bet I beat that ostrich's ass in a race.
Even still, it might take two, maybe even three
ostrich
people.
with one leg.
Fucking ostrich.
You know what I remember? Where did I see this? I think it was on a Magnum PI. I think it was on a Magnum PI episode where there was this bet made that a person could beat a crack.
Heroin.
like a racehorse, like a thoroughbred. That's the word I was looking for. Thoroughbred. I can beat a thoroughbred in a 100-yard dash, but I set up the parameters that it's a 50-yard dash twice. Because the amount of time that it would take for the horse to slow down and turn around and then go back the other way, I would be ahead.
Watch barrel racers.
Yeah.
Even a thoroughbred. I mean, barrel racers, you want to...
They're quick, dude.
I would just...
They turn a corner like on a dime. My cousin was a barrel rider.
Oh, yeah?
I almost got into, like, cutting horses. I knew a girl whose dad trained cutting horses because I was into horses at the time. And he asked me if I'd be interested in learning how to ride cutting horses. If you're ever interested in watching horses work and basically a cowboy just sit atop and let the horse do it, watch cutting horses and how those horses will watch that cattle and they get down real low and they're back and forth and you'd be surprised how fast those horses can move.
Well, of course, it's like, look, it was a TV show. All I'm saying is, whatever.
Horse. Yeah, my cousin.
Nope, the logic
She was
stands. Maybe like
awesome.
8 times. I think you could probably beat a quarter horse.
It would depend. Okay, but look. Okay, so like
12
all of that taken into account, I grant you all of that. So because it was Magnum PI, first of all, TV show. Second of all,
Well, he does have
this
that mustache, so.
Yeah. The porn stash, of course. But perhaps this wasn't a trained horse that would be like cutting around barrels. I get what you're saying. So if you're just talking about someone who is racing a thoroughbred, who races the Preakness, there's no barrels, right? So that horse isn't trained to make a cut and turn back on a dime. That's the point. He made a bet that he knew. Look, my ex-wife would say, I never make a bet I'm going to lose. I always make a bet I know I'm going to win. So that's what the point of the whole Magnum PI thing was that he made this bet that he could beat a horse in a 100-yard dash. And the fact was that he raced to 50 yards. He could turn on a dime as a human being, but the horse wasn't trained to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horse needs to be trained to do that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, hi there, handsome. Yeah, my cousin, she broke her leg twice getting rolled on.
Maybe the
Riding
horses
barrels.
are slower in Hawaii. I don't know.
They would think that mustache was a snake and just go running off down the beach.
Or a cucumber.
Yeah. Pickle Rick. No, you know what? They say, I don't know. Alligators are faster than horses. First 50 yards. Allegedly. That's right.
Yeah.
Gator will get
You
up
got to
and move,
zigzag. You got to zigzag. You ever get chased by gator? Zig the zag.
I don't know how I got to outrun the gator. I just got to outrun Walt. What was that? Without a Paddle? Seth Green and the one tall, skinny guy from Scream movies. They see the brown bear, and he starts taking his shoes off. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm faster barefooted." He's like, "You can't outrun a bear." He's like, "I don't have to outrun the bear. I just got to outrun you." And Bear's carrying Seth Green off like it's his baby or whatnot.
Fucking dude's name is right on the tip of my tongue, too.
He was in Hackers.
13 Ghosts.
13 Ghosts, yep.
Was he in the first? Was he in the first Scream?
Yeah. He was one of the killers.
Are you? He's talking about. You're talking about the redhead guy, Scooby Doo, the ginger.
Yeah. Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
Matthew Lillard. Yeah.
Yeah. Matthew
Can't say
Willard.
the name. Brain's not awake. Right?
Man,
Sorry.
look, guys, I never watched Scream until 26 years after Scream.
Wow.
Right. And I was it was 4:20 in the day. That was the time it was during the day. It was 4:20. And one of the reaction channels that I watch, Ashley Burton or Awkward Ashley, she was watching Scream for the first time in her Halloweens. That's her Halloween, October watching. So she watched Scream, and I've never watched that before. I've never been interested in it. I don't like that kind of genre anymore, but I'm going to watch it. I absolutely love Scream. I think it is an amazing movie.
Have you ever seen Scary Movie?
I have, but that's not the point, Zach.
Deputy Doofy.
yeah. Of course.
Best stupid, funny movie character. I think out of any of the movies, those dumb movies that they made like that, the Naked Guns. I mean, you pick it. Deputy Doofy was probably my favorite character without a doubt.
I got to go with the Mog.
Mog.
Half man, half dog. He's his own best friend.
Is that Barf?
That's Spaceballs. Yeah, that's Spaceballs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm my own best friend.
Yeah, John Candy was great in that. We were just talking about Mr. Mom, or not Mr. Mom, Uncle Buck. Uncle Yubi's got me doing dishes, busting my hump, earning my keep. Now, that was Macaulay Culkin's first movie, wasn't it?
Uncle Buck?
Yeah.
Was it? I thought Home Alone was.
No, I think he did Uncle Buck before Home Alone. Let me check.
Really? Oh, okay.
Let's see.
I'm not going to challenge.
Actually,
To be fair,
this is a terrifying movie starring Tim Robbins.
The Good Son?
No.
Jacob's Ladder?
Yeah. Go watch it again.
What's that got to do with Macaulay Culkin, bro?
That's his son in the movie as a little child.
Oh, really? I went to the drive-in in Ventura County, California, whatever year it was that this movie came out. And I was like, this was one of the most miserable experiences I've ever had. The first one, I think, is this one, where I went to the drive-in with a bunch of friends in the back of a truck, watched Jacob's Ladder, had no fucking clue what this movie was about, and it was like, oh my God.
Going into that with no clue, I can't even imagine.
Oh my God. I was just like, I wasn't ready for it. I was not ready for it.
Rocket Gibraltar, 1988 he was in. See You in the Morning, 1989. Yeah, I found 3 so far that he was in before Home Alone.
Huh.
Well, those were even before. So I'm pretty sure it was like 90 or so for.
He can't be a main character.
Jacob's Ladder. No, he was. Yeah, he was just his son at the end of the movie, basically. When you really see him. In fact, if I remember right, he's not even credited in the movie. It's how. Not in the movie he is, but it's him. There's no doubt it's Macaulay
Like an
Culkin
extra,
if you go look
right?
into it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't even have it listed here on his movies.
Fucking KG is in that
you have
movie
to
too.
speak.
Jacob's Ladder. Kyle Gass from Tenacious D is in that movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some movie called See You in the Morning, 1989. But no, there was one he was in from 88 called Rocket Gibraltar. And he looks way young. He looks like he's like 5.
Was he the second vet there in New York? Or the first vet that he talked to? The one that was having issues? There was another vet, I remember him. I'm trying to remember where Craig would have been in there.
Yeah, Burt Lancaster was in his first movie with Macaulay Culkin.
What's the last movie Burt Lancaster was in? Field of Dreams?
Let me see.
I think that's right. I don't think he did anything after that. I think that was the last thing he did.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. But it sounds right.
Yep. Final film role was in 1989 movie Field of Dreams. Played Dr. Moonlight Grant.
Huh. Crazy.
Final performance on television was in 1991 miniseries.
We're living in the era right now where our I just lost his name. What was his name? We were
Burt
just
Lancaster?
talking. Burt Lancaster is the new Harrison Ford, or right? Harrison Ford is the new Burt Lancaster. Like he's like That's the era of the icons that we're living in right now.
I know we're old.
You know, the Hume Cronins, the Henry Fondas of the '80s when they were 80 freaking years old.
Think anything's going to change with all this stuff coming out in Hollywood? And I mean, there's videos that are now out, like out. I haven't gone looking for them. I've seen little snippets and tiny pieces of them and stuff people are sharing on YouTube, but these videos are like out in the public now with really, really famous people, really well-known, celebrities, A-list celebrities. I was just I don't know. Is this going to change things out there?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what do you mean? Like A-list right now for us? Like Bruce, like Brad Pitt and
P. Diddy parties and all these people that go and have been wrapped up in all of this.
Yeah, that's just like Babylon. Just watch the movie Babylon and just know that that's just out there.
Well, I know it's out there, but is this going to change things now that everybody's going to know it's out there?
No, I don't think so. Personally, I don't.
I think you're right. It's sad, but I think you're right.
Yes.
I mean, look, I watched...
The printer has to change the invitations to a different address. That's all. That's what's going to change.
Yeah. They just moved it to a different island, all the Epstein stuff.
Yeah, right.
With a new person in charge.
Or it's the same island and they just tell you it's a different island.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one thing that made the light switch flick for me really was the series, The Gentleman, not the movie, and I've seen both. It was the series, The Gentleman, where I was watching this going, oh my God, this movie is about the elite showing us in a movie what they do with no repercussions, with no consequence. And in my mind, I went back to 1920 when they were sitting around their round table with Rockefeller and everybody else. It was
J.P. Morgan.
Yeah. And they're like, how can we make more money?
Jekyll Island.
Yeah, right. How can we make more money? And one of them says, I have an idea. Just hear me out. Hear me out. What if? Now, this moving picture thing that's out there? Moving pictures, right? What if we create moving pictures about the things that we do and they think it's not real? They will pay us over and over and over again to make these movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been that way since the beginning.
That's just a movie, Travis.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody would really do that. It's like, I try telling people, no, you would never do that because you're a normal, good person.
Right. Yeah.
Just like you would never murder people, but there are people out there that do murder people. Yeah. I don't even like looking into that stuff anymore. Well, some of it's okay, but when you get into like how they start raising their children, I can't help but feel sorry for all these people that are raised in these families and raised the way they were raised. It's so sad. They're never going to be happy. It doesn't matter how much wealth they obtain.
Well, I just came across, kind of like to piggyback on what you just said, Zach, but I just came across my friend that I'm staying with. She said, you know the old evangelist Chuck Swindoll. So in the 80s, there was a radio evangelist named Chuck Swindoll. And as a young Christian, I would listen to Chuck Swindoll. So I absolutely know him. She said his son, Chuck Swindoll Jr., is now a complete spiritualist, Buddhist, just complete opposite. And he's got a pretty significant channel on YouTube. And so you've got these insignificant people that break away from the mainstream and become the opposite. But rarely do we see anyone who is in the elite club coming out and saying, I'm no longer that. Like, you can't do that with the elite. You can't.
I've only known of one person, and I actually got to meet him. Reynolds, from the Reynolds rat family. What's his first name?
Ryan.
Is it Ryan?
No, I'm just kidding.
Bert.
I forget his name, but he talks about and did a presentation at one of the FEICs about being raised as an assassin for the elite. Like,
but do you think that's
Nathan
do you think
Reynolds
that's really possible?
is his name.
At that level?
I don't know how he did it. He said he does it because he gave his soul up to Jesus Christ and, you know, yada, yada, yada. I don't know.
Yeah.
He seems to have done it, and it's crazy about the stuff that he says. And
I guess to a certain extent they let I guess to a certain extent they let certain truth sayers out there, like the author, I can't remember his name right now, but the name of his book is Confessions of an Economic Hitman.
Hitman. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's those texts and those YouTube videos that you can watch right now that debunk the, you know, the pie in the sky idealism of the American country that we think we live in. You know, where this guy was basically an economic assassin, where he would go into a third world country and try to corrupt them to the point of asking the United States for, you know, a loan, and then having to just rule and dominate that country. And if the president of that country doesn't follow the rules, he's assassinated. I mean, like, look, that stuff's out there.
This is what China is doing in Africa, only they're doing it with infrastructure. Rather than destabilization, they're sort of trying to stabilize areas and bring infrastructure and things to remote areas in Africa, but you're getting these leases and control and indebtedness of Africa into China, and it just creates this whole conflict of interest.
Yeah. And what's anybody going to do about that, Josh? Like, what are you going to do with that knowledge, bro? Change the world, man. Stop it.
Right. I'll stop China.
Yeah.
Hey, China, stop doing that.
It'd make me real happy. I can at least pursue it. I have a right to pursue happiness, don't I?
Yeah. Yeah, and life and liberty, too.
As long as it makes me happy, it's my right. My God-given right.
When my grandmother passed away, we were going through stuff that she and my grandfather kept and whatever, and so I've got their propaganda pamphlets that they had from the 40s and 50s of the Constitution and what it means to be an American. Oh my God!
Duck and cover.
Oh man, some of that stuff in there, when you read it from our side of the fence, it's just absolute propaganda. It's crazy. The shit that they were told.
Well, I think they would put the internet back in the box if they could. I'll say it 100 times over. I think they unleashed a beast that they had no idea the ferociousness of this beast.
I think
it was all going to be mostly kitty videos and puppies.
Yeah.
No, they had an idea. They knew sex sells before they released the internet. They knew this would be driven by porn. Full stop. Every major internet technological advancement's been made through pornography.
But what I'm saying is the whole sharing of ideas and information war.
I don't think they care.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, Zach, But I think that they knew enough about the long game. They knew that that was a repercussion. But I hear what you're saying.
Know.
But
I think you're giving them a little too much credit.
Okay.
I'm totally giving too much credit. Like, it's, I don't know.
I just see them slipping. I see them losing control.
I think they have so much confidence in the majority that they're not worried about you and I.
Is it confidence or is it hubris?
No, I think it's confidence in. So I've got a good friend, you know, when he and I got acquainted and started talking about stuff, he's like, look, man, he's like, your greatest enemy is your next door neighbor. It's not the government. It's not the Matrix. It's your next door neighbor that believes the Matrix. That's your greatest enemy. And they know that.
See something, say
so
something.
It doesn't matter what they release. They could release absolute goddamn truth, Zack. And the majority of the people won't believe it. And they know that. So they don't care about you and I at all.
Yeah.
Or about the guy from the Reynolds family who made it up a few rungs up the ladder.
Right.
And if he wants to,
he's only
off,
like a
let him.
4th degree Mason.
I'm not sure if he was even a Mason. Like,
but you get what I'm saying, though. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, he was born into it. You know, he didn't join anything.
Yeah.
He was that at birth. He was, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to be in this, you're going to, yeah, it's crazy how young he started training as an assassin. Like, this wasn't, you're 18 now and we're going to train you, and no. This started off as a child. He started training to be an assassin with a blade. Not with a sniper rifle from 500 yards away, with a blade.
Hand-to-hand combat? Wow.
It's crazy.
That's intense.
Yeah. Yeah. You hear stuff like that, and then you actually, if you give a little time to it and actually think about it and try to process what that might be like being a child. And instead of going out to play ball with your buddies, you're going in here to the teacher to learn how to kill somebody with a pencil, you know, by stabbing their aorta just right and ripping in the right direction or whatever.
Or just slamming their head down into the round table like the Joker did, right? Yeah. I'm gonna make this pencil disappear.
I couldn't even imagine the life of this person that they've led so far. Couldn't even fathom trying to put myself into their shoes. Just alien to me.
That's because you're more human than human, Zack.
Well, because I was raised by a loving mother who, you know, wouldn't allow something like that. My mother cared and loved about me and didn't allow people to just tell her, hey, your son's going to do this now and he's going to be this and you're going to sit there and shut up and take it. And oh, by the way, you don't get to hug him ever or tell him you love him ever. I couldn't imagine a life that these people go through. I would rather be poor and loved by my parents.
Yeah, but again, I agree with you, but we're on the other side of the fence. When you're on the other side of the fence, and that's the zeitgeist, you know, the spirit of the age in that world, that's just the way it is. Like
right. If that's the script you see your parents running as you're growing up, then that'll be the script they're running too.
Oh yeah. That's
so
what
what do you think about that, right? So then if you think about it the way that Walt just said it, then this guy coming out saying, "Oh, I was in this," that's, in my opinion, disinformation. They're releasing it, but they're releasing it in a controlled opposition kind of fashion. They're deliberately putting this guy out.
Yeah, or good finds a way sometimes, you know. Just think, I mean,
sometimes it does.
Okay.
You know, with all these elite people and all this stuff, you got to remember there's got to be good people involved.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't come out and just say it.
Right.
You know, maybe they'll do it and release it here or there or wherever they can get it out. But evil isn't, when someone's good, I mean, you can try to turn somebody that's good evil, and there's ways of doing it, but sometimes people just, even evil people will become good. They just turn good. They don't want to feel that way anymore. Maybe they get that little itch in them and says, maybe I'll just be nice to somebody one time to see what it feels like. And they get this huge wave of emotional bliss from, you know, handing a homeless person $1. And that might start. I don't know why things happen the way they do or why people change. But yeah, I mean, good happens. It just does. It feels good to be good, you know? It's probably the greatest drug out there, in my opinion, is the way we can make ourselves feel. Yeah, accomplishing something, just doing something, you know, not for yourself so much, but for others. It feels awesome. I don't know, gents. I think we did it.
I think we
did.
Travis, it's only like 8 o'clock for him. Something like that.
That dude's ready to party.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, probably about 8 o'clock, isn't it, Trav? Yes, Sarah G. Love is highest.
It would be 8 o'clock for Travis, 10 o'clock for us. And yeah, it's been a long time on the headphones tonight. I did get a update on the event being underwhelming, but there is another event on the 30th, just so you guys have the heads up, for Fortnite.
Oh.
Getting the scoop in the back. I talked to Vincent, jumped right into it, but I forgot you didn't hear the whole mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
We have Liz making it to the end of the show.
Look at her go. Party animal.
Look at her go. Not next week, though. Next week it'll be back to late for her, but you won't have the mornings to deal with, and you made it. You made it.
Yep. Fall back into reality.
All back into reality we're going.
Back to life.
But really, Liz, I think we should be closer in time and space, so we should do something about that. Make it happen.
Absolutely.
Manifest.
Manifest reality.
Manifest reality. Are we saying goodnight?
Allegedly.
Aww.
Sorry, Trav.
No worries, no worries.
I know, I miss you hanging out in the mornings.
Listen, man. Like, what is it, 3
a.m. for you?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Listen,
I barely made them. I missed a bunch of shows when I was out in Denver. I know that for sure.
I got up at 1:30 in the morning the other day because I woke up and fucking check this out. I still have it recorded. I woke myself up having an audible, understandable conversation with Neil deGrasse Tyson in the personage of Martin Luther King about the tax code.
About the tax code.
Yeah. Like I was waking up and believing that I was like on the phone with someone and I was talking out loud, and I had just downloaded a sleep app that like regulates like what you do while you're sleeping, you know, like how many times you snore, how many times you like, you know, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Well, the first night, nothing really happened. The second night, this happened. I had this full-blown conversation. It was absolutely wild. Anyway, Yeah. So I got up at 1:30 in the morning, and I tried to write down my dream, like in a dream journal sense, because I was trying to like cultivate a lucid dreaming pattern, and that fucked me up for like the next 3 days. Like getting up at 1:30 in the morning and doing that, I didn't go back to sleep. I couldn't go back to sleep. So like I've been up since 1:30 in the morning, and then I go to bed at 10 o'clock in the morning because I got to catch up and it just screwed me the hell up.
Yeah,
So
I don't think
anyway.
I could get up and write something and then just fall right back to bed.
Yeah,
I have to be kind
yeah.
of coherent a little bit to write something down.
So as much as I like to be there, I mean, if I do try to wake up and remember, or if I do wake up and remember, I'll jump in for sure. But yeah, it's tough.
Understandable.
It's some getting used to. But thank you all for hanging out with us tonight and in the mornings.
Love y'all.
Yep.
Be them late.
Love y'all so much.
Or be them early.
Don't forget to smash those Fonzarellis, everyone. Out there right now, if you have not smashed the Fonzarelli, what the Smurf is wrong with you?
That background is blocking out a lot of that. All you really see is the Fonz. Wasn't giving us any of
That's
that.
all you need is the
I guess that is all you need.
What more do you need?
All right, love you guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next week. Back in reality. Till then, be good, be well, do good, do it well. We love you. Bye-bye.